Hey, how can I tell when we live?
Yeah, how can we tell?
Figure it out.
Looks like we on the air right now. Right on top, it says we on
Technology.
air. Looks like we hot.
Technology,
live?
Oh,
Mars.
it says
Is this
on
live?
air.
It says right there. On air.
Oh,
This thing's live. Okay.
Just start talking.
Ladies, gentlemen, as you can see, we got a whole new setup. We got a whole new arena, it looks like. We're on a whole new court. Even Ox looks like a new player. Dub got some new shoes on. Hey, we hit 100K and things just all of a sudden change. The rules change, the regulations change. We got referees now. Referees that look. I got a little bit of pull, but I'm more like the coach now. Oh, we got referees that hand out texts and stuff like that. Hey, Dub, that's not a good thing, right?
We lose at every game. Wrong coaching.
Dub, you think that's a good thing? Does anybody think that's a good thing?
No,
Wait, what's a good thing?
no comment.
That we have refs that could take us up at any moment in time.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not paying attention, bro.
Oh,
I'm having a conversation right now about a tire, and I need to make sure it's right. All right?
And he
Yo,
not
bro,
very-
check him up, bro.
Check him up. Check him up. He not
Get
very-
your bum, you. Hey,
you see, just like that.
Hey.
If the ref's not feeling it,
John
they're gonna take
B.
you up. And now we
Technical
can't hear anything from Dub. But it's also other things that are being implemented with this whole new layout that we got. Like, for instance, we could chill with chill. You know, we gonna be chilling now. So you see, all of a sudden, chill's iced out. Whoa, new league, new things. And for instance, let's say Mars is all of a sudden just chefing up and doing what he does. He's heating up. He's cooking how he typically cooks. Then all of a sudden, things like this will pop on the screen. There you go. Mars is a little hot right now. He's roasting. He's frying. He's cooking. And then, like, I don't know. It's just gonna be new things. It really is. But as we continue to move on, Dub, you good? You can untech Dub. Yeah.
No, can't hear you, Dub.
Oh, dog.
Y'all hear me
Yeah,
now?
Dub, they gave you a double tech.
Now
Oh,
you
there
hot.
go, there you go.
Now you hot. Okay. Hey. John B. Technical foul. That's tech number 2. He's gone.
I got text with y'all and text with our operator too. So we're doing text all over the place, bro.
That's tech number
Just go
2.
behave yourself.
Go
dog.
on.
What can I say? Just
You guys like the whole new layout? You like what's going on?
It's gonna
No,
take
not
some
really.
getting used to.
Yeah,
It's gonna take some getting used to.
I mean, our older community, I mean, they don't like change, so it's gonna take some.
Yeah. Hell evolution.
Exactly.
You don't like it.
Just
All right,
stick
man.
to the good old days. That's their motto.
I want
Hey, just
the same
blame
sandwich I
100K.
had 20 years
You
ago.
hit 100K and all of a sudden things just upgrade. Things just fall out the sky.
I'm not tripping around. I'll get busy on the hardwood, blacktop. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I
It don't really matter. I'll lace him up anywhere. That's a fact.
You ain't lace him up last night. You ain't lace him up last night when Sarah was cooking your ass on the Fluent and Chill show.
Was she ticket? What happened?
I told you that
What
before we came on the show. She was cooking your ass. Y'all came in yesterday.
What?
All that stuff about, oh yeah, see, they let a girl come in the NBA. I'm gonna play her the same way I play the fellas. I'm throwing bowls, I'm fouling hard, I'm doing all that stuff. She came in here cooking your ass last night. You was on silent time, man. You was on quiet time.
So let me make sure we clear. I want to make sure we clear.
Chill,
So
before you go, it's a new rule that's being implemented today as well. You can't say the word LeBron, James, Ramon, or LeBron James, any iteration of that. Otherwise, I mean, I don't make the rules. I'll just play by them. The refs told me that we can't talk about LeBron today. If so, you will be iced. But we can talk about Jordan. We can't talk about Pippen. Who, Ox, you think Pippen's? You still think Pippen's top 10? 10? Yo, Steve, what should we do for him?
I think we just need to talk about Bill Russell. But
I don't think that's necessary, Steve.
Put him on ice, man. Put him on
In
ice.
case you guys don't know, that's Steve Javi in the back. In case you don't know, but Steve, let these guys get their takes off. I know, Chill, you were saying something. Sorry to interrupt.
So ticket. Being from where you from, ain't no y'all. Name names. Who said what? Let's start right there. Ain't no y'all said that. Name names.
I know y'all. I'm talking about you. I'm saying Sarah.
Okay, so
Thing came up in here and was cooking your ass last night on the floor. So I heard it. I was in there listening. And you was talking all that gang, you was talking all that tough talk yesterday when we was on the stream when you was saying, yeah, man, it ain't gonna change. If it's a woman on the court playing with the men, it ain't gonna change. It's gonna be the same way.
Right.
Well, she came and played on your court and took your ball and went home. She took your
Absolutely.
ball, went home,
Absolutely.
and you did nothing about it. You just sat up there and was taking the abuse while she was cooking you. Listen, when she get in the arena, you supposed to cook back. Period.
So on the chill with chill on the Fluent and Chill show, right? Which is exactly that. It's real chill. She didn't say anything that you didn't say. She didn't say anything that Dub didn't say. She didn't say anything that anybody else that I ever talked to didn't say. But because I wasn't, hold on, Sarah, because I wasn't loud and because I wasn't boisterous, she came on and she cooked me. Actually, she did. All she did was make the same point that you made and anybody else that I've ever talked to made. So she didn't cook anything. We were having a conversation and it was good. That's all it was.
You ain't had a show.
You being who you are, you being who you are, you trying to make this more than what it is.
No, I'm saying you didn't have the same energy, bro. You set up here yesterday talking all that talk, and all y'all was coming at me saying how y'all was keeping the same energy. Ron was like, yeah, I'm locking up full court. Fluent was like, yeah, I'm giving a hard foul. I don't care. And you was in here talking that tough talk too. And as soon as she came in here cooking your ass on the same things we do, you gave her a different response than you give us. And I don't like that because if you come into the arena, she gets to get cooked too. She gets to get, especially if she cooking you. Especially if she cooking, and that's a debate. When she talking about Jay, that's a debate where I know you ready to go wild. So for you to back down like that, bro, you on KD, you on KD status debate.
Actually, I did not back. No, I did not back. Number one, I didn't back down. Number two, it wasn't a debate. We were talking about something totally different. She just brought up Jay, and she just brought up everything that he did. That was it. We wasn't actually having a debate about Jordan and James. It was just her perspective on it. So it wasn't about that.
That was me. That was me because I did ask her what's more egregious, you thinking LeBron's the GOAT or you having Kobe at 11.
There you go, Ron. Get him, Ron. Get him, Ron.
Sorry, Fluent.
So
it's not gonna fly.
If you don't stop capping, bro, you know dang well. You know dang well when a female come in the room, you be switching up to cut it out.
Hold on. Speaking it the same way. Hold on. I'm gonna say it to y'all like this though.
Watch this. Man. Anytime we see hello, Haley. Hello, Haley.
You
don't say hello to anyone else. You don't say hello.
Not Dub. Not only is it hello, Haley, he quick to take her back. Is he not? How quick is he to have her back?
All the time.
Hold on. She don't never bring no energy. She only bring good energy.
Sarah Spain didn't bring no smoke. She was just talking about Jay. She didn't bring no smoke to me.
With the smoke, but hey, hold on. You got dead like KD got dead yesterday, and that's the way everybody should do KD. The way old boy did KD yesterday. The way he did KD, that's how everybody's supposed to approach KD. You're supposed to approach KD with biscuits. KD is done. Go ahead and shut down all your troll accounts. Shut down your Twitter. Shut down all that. He's done. He deep fried that boy. Over with.
That reference was crazy.
No more.
We're gonna keep it 100 ticket. I don't want to hear another word out of KD. KD, I don't want to hear another word out of you. Really.
It's over. That's sad, bro. It's over.
Did you hear his reply?
Yeah.
No, he didn't have one. Are you serious? He replied to that?
He said, dang, he must have got mad. I called him a trash comedian.
I don't
understand why y'all don't understand. He's trolling with everyone, and everyone's being up in arms about it.
He disrespected dude, though. He called dude a trash comedian. He said, how a trash comedian think he gonna talk to a two-time champ, blah, blah, blah. And then dude went off and just straight annihilated him.
In the word is
Can we get some full context?
How's he going to call him a trash? How's he going to call him a trash comedian? I thought there was only good and bad.
Because he's bad. He's trash.
It's good or not good, and he apparently is not.
Well, he ain't trash. He ain't trash no more. But what happened was, Ron, is that KD was trolling again on the internet like he always do. This man got all this money. He ain't running around here with America's top models. He on Twitter arguing with buffoons. But he over here arguing, talking about, yeah, man, offense win championships, not defense. So the comedian comes and people start challenging him on that whack take he had, and then he gonna single out the comedian, talking about the comedian's trash and how How dare you talk to a 2-time world champion when you never done nothing in my field? But you called the comedian trash, but you never been a comedian before. You never been in that field. So then dude comes back and annihilates KD. He breaks down his whole career in less than 5 minutes and annihilates him. I'm talking about dog walk this dude, and that's how everybody should approach KD when he come with that trolling. That's how you should approach it.
Ron, if you would have heard it, Ron, all you would hear is the ether music in the background. That's all you should hear, because that's what he did. He completely went after KD and didn't let up on him at all. Talked about how you talk about winning NBA championships. You talk about how good offense is, and offense wins NBA championships. Meanwhile, you were the leading scorer in the league, and Russell Westbrook was the leading scorer in the league, and you couldn't win the NBA championship. Meanwhile, you was on a team that had one of the best defenses in the league, and y'all won the NBA championship.
That was a terrible point, though, because OKC had a good defense.
No, but that wasn't what he was saying. No, that wasn't a terrible point.
No, that was a terrible. No, that was a great point.
Dub, you've been capping for KD ever since he came for low. Like you shook, like you scared he gonna come for you next.
What you mean? That's not true. You know I've been on KD. You know
Warriors were the 11th best defense, and that's why it was terrible.
Say that one more time, Miles. I ain't hear you.
The reason it was terrible is because the 2018 Warriors were the 11th best defense. That's why it was terrible. He said they were top 3. No, they weren't. They were 11th. So that was why it was terrible.
Okay, so
that's why they were the 3rd best offense.
But that wasn't what it was about.
And then he talked about.
He said he won when the Warriors were a top 3 defense every time they won. That's not true. They were 11th in defense and 3rd in offense. So you could argue they won because of offense, even though that's not true. But him saying they were a top 3 defense is not true. They weren't.
And then he talked about. And then he talked about them not winning after the Warriors and be like, "Oh, you had all this offense, they ain't win." Without even considering the fact that James, Kyrie, KD didn't even play with each other, so that just didn't make sense either. It's just weird. It was just weird.
Dub, you missed it. Hold on, Dub. The point that he was making about scoring, which did make sense, the fact that KD did lead the league in scoring in 14, and Russ led the league in scoring in 15, and they couldn't win the NBA championship in 16 with all of that scoring.
Yeah, the year that Steph led the league in scoring. He went and joined the person who was the leading scorer. So technically, he still did the thing. He joined the leading scorer. Russ wasn't the leading scorer. It was Steph. He joined Steph, who was the leading scorer. So technically, he went and left a worse scorer to join a better scorer. So he still followed the same philosophy. He went and joined the better scoring team. That's what he did. So he didn't really contradict himself. He did exactly what he said.
Y'all, you and Dub don't play by the rules. You and Dub don't play by the rules, man. I'll tell y'all something, bro.
I'm just listening to what he said.
That's what they do on open gym.
Hey, Ron,
he was just bad. It was just a bad argument.
When somebody come for one of us, we don't cap for them. The hell with KD. He came for one of us, we stepping on his face. We ain't sitting here pointing out what things did wrong about him. The hell with KD. He came for low, we all on his helmet, period. Like Chill said, you come at one, you come at all, man. I ain't sitting up here capping to point out no flaws. He got cooked, point blank, period. Man ain't lie. The man went over there to Brooklyn, tried to form another super team, got swept in the first round because it all fell apart because he put his trust in James Harden. Then what happened? Then you ran over and you got beat again because Kyrie Irving wasn't going to be there, didn't want to be around. He left you high and dry. So you ran over to the Phoenix Suns and got your ass whooped again when you were supposed to get beat in the first round. But Kawhi, he got hurt, copped out the series. So guess what? You just got did in the second round. Like I said, man, dude was a chump. He run around here on some high power stuff, calling himself a god, run around here talking to dudes like that.
What happened?
Ticket has left the building.
With that being said,
I guess Steve didn't like what he was saying, so he
fumble Taylor Rooks, man. Get him out of here, bro.
It is gonna be a Boston Phoenix
I
final.
hear that, man. Like I said, man, how you got that type of lady on your arm, and you understand what I'm saying? She out of here, bro. Man, get out of here, man. You supposed to hold on to that. You supposed to have 3-4 babies, and it's supposed to be BET Rap City.
Ticket, you cut out for a second. Who are you talking about?
I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
I was talking about. Hold on. I was talking about Taylor Rooks. KD fumbled Taylor Rooks. What brother you know they got common sense gonna fumble Taylor Rooks? That's the chick you supposed to have 3-4 babies in a family with. But you sit out here trolling with dudes online. But you fumbled that bag, man. Get out of here, man. You want to come in?
We don't know Taylor Rooks. She might be toxic though. You never know.
Man, hey, well, guess what? She's gonna be toxic with 3-4 babies by me. Have a baby by me, baby.
They was together.
Huh?
Taylor Rooks and KD was
I'm
together. I never
stanky
knew that.
rich. I'm trying to
Hey, hold on. Google it.
I'm Googling it right now. I don't see it.
Google Taylor Rooks. Get your mind right. KD fumbled that.
We know who Taylor Rooks is. We just
Yeah, he fumbled that. I wasn't
aware that they had a thing.
Hey, Mars, you want to become a man right now, Mars? Google Taylor Rooks. You become a man.
The only Taylor I care about is Swift.
Man, Joy Taylor got my heart, man.
Hey, let's bring it back to on-court activities and festivities and whatnot. Yeah, chill, focus. We're talking about KD, and I'm assuming that's going to be our next focal point, just because we can't talk about another guy named LeBron. So,
damn.
How did he get
ice? I'm telling y'all that the Suns are winning the West. It's about to be Suns Boston, Suns Celtics finals.
Oh, you got the Suns?
Yeah,
I got the Suns too.
I forgot you.
Why you got Phoenix winning? Big Ox, why you got Phoenix winning the West? What's the story with Phoenix winning the West? Why you like them so much?
They feel. I mean, the roster, Chitchat, like they got Bradley Beal now. That's even more firepower. Right. And I think they did a good job filling out the rest of the roster too with the pieces they added. So, and they were able to hold on to Deandre Ayton, which I think is a plus. I'm not high on just writing guys off just because a subpar finals against the finals MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on, y'all serious?
Y'all
serious?
the thing that I'm concerned with more than anything, is exactly what KD's been over the last couple of years. He's broken down. Not only has he broken down, he has underperformed in the playoffs each of the last 2 years. There's no reason for me to think going into next season, which is in September, he'll be 35, which means I think he's going to break down again. Right now, he's got more firepower offensively. I do think he's going to break down again. So they're going to lose him. They could possibly lose him again for a significant amount of the season because of what I've seen over the last couple of seasons. That's his pattern. Add that to the fact that he's been underperforming. You saw what happened last year in the playoffs. Even though he just jumped on that crew, but the year before that, when he was in Brooklyn, when they got smoked in the first round, he underperformed and did the same thing there. So now here we are, and we're in Phoenix, which for some people may be the fountain of youth, but for Kevin Durant being as old as he is and breaking down like he does, and them losing him, that's going to be a rhythm issue with that team. Not only is it going to be a rhythm issue with that team, they still don't have a lead guard since Chris Paul is gone. Now I gotta relegate the ball handling duties to both Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, who have not shown on a consistent basis that they can do that for an entire season, including the playoffs. But this team, because the roster, which I do appreciate, has gotten filled out at the end, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are going to be the difference in them winning and losing. And I'm not sure that they can do it.
This my thing though. They don't need no all-star league guard though. You know what I'm saying? Like back with what the Heat used to do with Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole. Like they can run that style with Cam and what's his name, Damian Lee. I don't think they need somebody to come out and be what Chris Paul used to be. I just need somebody to stay healthy and get the ball around. On top of that, I don't necessarily think if Kevin Durant plays 55 games, it'll be cool. Like Kevin, and that's another thing why, like with them getting Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant doesn't have to be OKC Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant could just come and just be a presence. You know what I'm saying on the offensive end. He's still pretty much unguardable. So it's kind of like as long as who they got, who's coaching over there now? Vogel, right? So as long as coach just do some coaching, Bradley Beal get some second unit minutes. I don't want to see the Suns. Well, I don't care what team I'm in. Here's the thing. I don't want to see the Suns.
But the problem with the Heat logic, even though you got Norris Cole and even though you got Mario Chalmers, nobody on Phoenix is the playmaker, distributor, and ball handler that James was. Facts. Nobody on Phoenix is. All they have is guys that are buckets. Devin Booker, he's buckets. Bradley Beal, he's buckets. KD, he's buckets. So when we get in the playoffs, when the game starts to slow down, when we get in the playoffs, when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, or when we get into the playoffs, when the game gets helter-skelter, who's going to slow us down? Who's going to calm us down? Who's going to get us in position? Who is the guy that I'm thinking about that's going to get the basketball and make a play for somebody else, as opposed to a guy who's just going to score the basketball? That's the million-dollar question, and I don't see that on Phoenix right now.
That's a good question. I don't got the answer for that. But I do 100% believe 100% believe that they took the Nuggets to 6. If they have that extra firepower in Bradley Beal last year, let's say we flop out Bradley for CP3 last year, I 100% believe that the Suns win that series. Without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, that's true. Because even without Chris Paul, they were still able to get 2 games on them. And I know that Devin Booker, had a historic game, but the last 2 seasons, Bradley Beal has been trying to take on more of a playmaking role, slowing the game down, getting guys involved at the same time, get his. So I think they could split the share between Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. KD's still playing off all of those guys, and they still be a good unit. Now, I'm not convinced on them to make it to the finals, mainly because, especially the Nuggets, bro, that defense is what worries me, man. I don't see no point of attack defenders like that. Low post defender ain't great like that. So I'm that's really what's worrying me. But the offense, I think the offense will be fine with the guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I think they'll be able to work around that without. I mean, Chris Paul. Let me be real. Chris Paul last year, I mean, he was table setting a lot of times. Really wasn't creating like that. He did slow the pace down. I would give it to him, but it wasn't like he was playing this crazy level last year that I don't think Bradley Beal and Devin Booker can replace.
Y'all don't like Campaign at all? Nobody likes Campaign?
Off the bench, I like him, but not a starter.
My thing when you got your lead guard though,
rotation guard, 100%.
When you got guys and I hate to keep bringing up the same old thing, but when you got guys that are this talented, I'm fine with, and I'm not sure, and that's why I asked if y'all like Campaign. I'm not sure if he's one. It might actually be what's his name, Damian Lee. He might be the one. But when you got guys this talented, I'm fine with having a lead guard that's just out there, just beating that, just bringing the ball up, moving it, filling the position, playing some defense on the other end, knocking down open shots. I don't know. We don't need Kyrie, you know what I'm saying, like Steph or nothing like that, in my opinion.
I was going to ask everybody, Chill, I want to start with you, and then Mars, obviously want to hear from you as well. I was going to say, you don't think they could just run the point guard by committee, where it's they don't necessarily have a point guard, but they have Devin Booker, who has played point guard before. I would say he's an above average distributor. Bradley Beal, he's an above average distributor. Kevin Durant, he's all right. And then everybody else just kind of, does their own thing too. You don't think that they're talented enough, and on top of that, experienced enough to be able to get into their sets, move the ball, play high IQ basketball without necessarily a point guard?
Well, you just mentioned point guard. If you swap out Chris Paul for who did you say, Big Ox? Bradley Beal. So, yeah. So with Chris Paul not being on that crew, they were able to get 2 games. Just so you guys know, the 4 games that they lost, only 1 game was under double digits. They smoked Phoenix. In all 3 of the 4 games, they smoked them. So and that was largely due to them not having a floor leader. Had they had a floor leader who was able to slow the game down, who was able to get these guys in, and in addition to Kevin Durant, no question about it, in addition to Kevin Durant playing a little bit better than what he was playing. He was playing good, but playing a little bit better. I think that floor leader would have held.
They got smoked in game 1, though. Chris Paul was there for game 1. They got smoked.
Right. They did get smoked, but they didn't get smoked. They got smoked for the whole series. 3 to 4 games, they got smoked. But I do think that Chris Paul would have given them I think he would have settled them down just a little bit more. But Denver was just better than them. So I don't think they're looking at. I don't think Denver is looking at Phoenix going, oh, they got Bradley Beal now, so man, we got to watch out. No, we'll serve y'all. All y'all doing is add more buckets to the crew. Y'all still missing a playmaker. Y'all still missing a distributor. I don't think that Bradley Beal is an above average distributor. Bradley Beal is buckets. That's all Bradley Beal is. I don't think that Devin Booker is an above average distributor. Devin Booker is buckets, and he passes maybe at an average rate. I mean, I don't think he's a great passer. I think and also a playmaker. I don't think he's great at that. But when I think about that,
that's kind of what I was getting at, though, Chill. Being able to get to your spots and attract the help defense and get the ball to the open man. Now, I know that's not necessarily setting the table. I know that's not necessarily calling the play and slowing down the offense.
Chris Paul was doing that last year.
Just with them being able to penetrate the defense and find the open man, and if the ball gets to moving, the defense is going to be in trouble. That's kind of what I was getting.
Didn't Chris Paul go out in the middle of that game? By the way, it wasn't. I don't think he played that whole game.
Game 2, he got hurt in the middle of the game.
Yeah, he got hurt in the middle of that game. I don't think he played
the whole series. But. Yeah, and the offense was fine. It's just the Nuggets was just
Denver was just better.
Yeah,
Denver ultimately was better. So now if you take Chris Paul out and you put Bradley Beal in, I don't think that they're looking at them. I don't think Denver's looking at Phoenix going, all right, man, now we really got to deal with these dudes because he off the floor. I don't think that they're looking at them like that. And the point guard by committee logic, I still think that they need somebody that's solid. Like Big Ox said, I don't think they need an all-star point guard. But I'm thinking like a Mike Conley type. That's why I love Mike Conley up in Boston. If they could get somebody like that, I think that really helps them.
But the only thing they really need one of their guards to do is just be able to be a threat on the floor, be able to create plays. We've seen Devin Booker do that without Chris Paul when Chris Paul's missing games. I've been seeing Bradley Beal do that on the Wizards. Just create plays, allow KD to work all ball and be a threat to score. I think that's enough for that offense to be good. And the games like Chris Paul, even before he got hurt, the offense wasn't like great. Like they had a good third quarter, but the offense in the first half in game 2 was bad. Now, maybe because KD was missing his shots for sure, but I mean, the whole offense in totality wasn't great. Game 1, they got blown out. They won 2 games without Chris Paul. Then they got killed the last 2 games. My whole point is that they're not contingent on Chris Paul and Bradley Beal coming in there. I think that's better than just having Chris Paul there, and I don't think they don't really need a guy, a point guard, to set the table for them.
Are we looking at it the wrong way though? Like, are we putting too much stock into this whole point guard or the guard situation? I think it's more so down low in Deandre Ayton. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of stepping up and realizing like I'm not gonna score 25 points a game. Like we need like 14 and 12. He needs to focus on rebounding and trying.
How's he going to get that though, Big Ops? How's he going to get that though?
Get what? 14 points?
Yeah, how's he going to get that? So all I'm doing is rebounding and rim running. Who's going to get him the basketball?
I mean, it's any of those guys can. Any of those guys. Devin Booker's potent in the pick and roll. He can get the ball. Anybody can get him the ball in the mid post. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's an entry pass for any of these guys shouldn't be an issue. If that's an issue, then we have bigger problems, you know. But he can attack the offensive glass. I think he's gonna have to sacrifice for this team to take the level to get to the level I think they are. I've never been big on stacking decks and super teams, but this one right here, I'm 100% behind this squad.
Bob, I'm totally against what you said. I think that it's not gonna work. That's the reason why he's gonna be gone. He doesn't want that role. That's not his game. And so why dumb yourself down into a role that's not you? He's not JaVale.
That's not dumbing down, Ticket. That's not
dumbing down. Wait, hold on.
That's evolving.
But let me finish my sentence. If you're a dude that is a guy that can get buckets in the post and rebound and block shots, so if you feel like you're a 20-10 guy legitimately in the league, why would I want to be in a situation for one with people I don't like, playing with guys I don't like to play with? I don't like the style of play we have. And then, like I said, I don't like the system. The system, I was a number 1 overall pick. So I'm a number one. No, I'm saying, but I'm a number 1. Well, Chris Paul's never been good with big men. That's why he always had beef.
But those guys are gone on that ticket. Like Monty's gone, Chris Paul's gone. Those are the guys issue with.
No, I'm saying, but no, he still had problems with Devin Booker too. You got to remember, he didn't like any of those guys. And I'm gonna be honest with you, but as a big man, I wouldn't like playing with Devin Booker either. Them dudes jack up too many shots. They don't play a style conducive to any big man that can score the basketball. They need a rim runner. They need a guy like JaVale McGee who isn't going to demand the ball, but he's going to do all the other stuff. They need a guy like Clint Capella who isn't going to call for the rock, but is going to do all the other stuff and is content in that role. Big fella ain't going to be content in that role because he got skills. And when you're a big fella with skills, you don't want to be dumbed down and put into one certain position. That's why.
That's my only thing, Ticket, is I don't consider it dumbing down. Because when you do have such a high skill set, especially when you take into account what Chitchat was saying, KD's gonna miss games. You know, Bradley Beal's gonna miss some games too. So it's like all he got to do is stay ready. You know what I mean? And on top of that, he's still able to use his skill set. You know what I'm saying? He might not get 20 shots a game, but he's gonna have to be happy with 9 to 11, 12 shots a game, bro. Like if he wants to win.
Well, they're not proven. They haven't proven that they can win. So he's not going to be. And then if you don't have a point guard who can set the table and get him post touches and stuff like that, that's going to be a real problem because that's not how Devin Booker and those guys play. Those guys are not used to playing with big men who like to score in the post a lot. Now, Devin Booker has played with this guy, but all the years that he's been there now, they've never played where, okay, big fella, we're going to give you the ball. We riding with you. They don't play like that. They play jump shoot first, perimeter first. And if I'm him, I don't like that either. Go get Clint Capella, one of those guys who like playing in that role, who's good with playing within that role, and then you can move forward. But let me move forward in my career and be able to help a team with my skill set and do the things that I need to do, that I'm capable of doing to helping a team win a championship. I just think that the style of play that they have and the way they play is not conducive to winning the championship. I don't think they're going to win a championship, and I think they're going to get beat early again. Like I said, they don't have elite level defense. Bradley Beal doesn't play elite level defense. KD is not an elite level defender no more like he was the years he played for the Golden State Warriors. Devin Booker is not an elite level defender. So none of those dudes are elite level or even high end level defenders at this point. Then you think about it, they want big fella to clean up all the mess, but you're not feeding him. Nah, you're gonna have to feed him if you want him to clean up that mess.
Different though. So two things, Ticket. One, I think it might be a different look now. They got a different coach. They got a different. Chris Paul's not there either. On top of that, if that's the mindset he's going to come with, I think it's going to actually hurt his career. On top of that, it's extremely selfish. You know what I'm saying? Because
why is it?
Well, because I look at it like this: if he can play, if he could just fit the role, but having a better skill set than a guy like Clint Capella, if he can fit that role and still be available for the dump down when they need him, and just exposing that in that role, and then get to the Western Conference Finals, get to the finals, maybe win a ring. That doesn't hurt his career. If anything, it just blasts his career to the top. It shows that he can do other things. I think if he's a professional, which I hope he is, I think if he and you call it dumbing down, I call it elevating. I think if he can take a step back and realize, yeah, I was the number one pick, but that doesn't mean I have to be give me the ball every time Hakeem Olajuwon. I think that if anything, it elevates his career to the next level.
Well, I just, like I said, me and you, we gonna agree to disagree on that because
I'll probably, when I was playing, clearly I wasn't as offensively gifted as you. So my mindset is just a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I'm saying none of those dudes individually have shown you that the style that they play works. KD had to go play a different style in Golden State to win. His style of play, that jacking up shots him and Russell doing, didn't work. Bradley Beal's jack him up style in DC didn't work with John Wall. Devin Booker, him and jack him up style, got their ass walked down in the NBA Finals by Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that's that style. Their styles don't work. You would make sense if you said, okay, I'm going to a dude whose styles work. If I'm a dude, I'm going to a guy like Kobe or something like that, who's proven, who's won chips and stuff like that. Okay, that style works. So if I'm a Pau Gasol and I'm going over here playing with Kobe, okay, cool. I can understand that because you've won chips. You understand what it takes at that level. You've been one of the dudes. You know what I'm saying? One of the main guys, and you've been a key cog, and you've proven that your style of play is conducive to that. To me, KD, throughout his whole career, except for the years he played with Steph, he haven't proven that. He's been a shot chucking dude, a shot jacking dude, and that style never worked. And that's why they got beat when they was up 3-1 against the Warriors. This is why he's gotten beat 4-0 when he was playing with Brooklyn. All that chuck him up, jack him up, superheroes type of basketball that they like to play, that those guards like to play, is the reason why. And listen, really, you see Jokic, they play through the bigs. That to me is more conducive. LA, when they play through the bigs, that was more conducive when you play through AD. When you playing through the bigs, is more conducive. So I like a style where you are playing more through the bigs, and then you playing off the bigs. We used to have a way called inside out. Killtown know this. We used to always play inside and out. I think now the outside in style only works for a rare few teams, and the Warriors is one of those rare teams that work for. Nobody else is really going to work for. You don't
think Vogel might shake it up this year and play a different style than they were? Remember?
I feel Bob. I feel what you're saying. I'm saying that's where Whitaker come in when he said the point guard. You got to have a point guard to set the table.
Right.
You don't have no point guard to set the table.
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. That's what I was meaning when you was talking about how perimeter oriented the game is now, because they tricked the big man. Now you got the big man playing further away from the basket, when in reality, where he was best was in the mid post and closest to the basket. But now he got tricked at playing further away from the basket, makes him more productive when it doesn't. It does not.
Yeah, offensively for sure. But the main thing I was talking about was defensively, especially with Devin Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal and pick and roll scenarios, like Jokic has to step up. Like he has to, or not. That's easy money for them a lot of the times. So the thing is that's the main thing. I do agree where like the guys should start using their size more than they have been doing in years past, getting down low like Anthony Davis was doing on the Lakers offensively, because I think you can dictate the game easier in that way, and that's what Jokic was doing in the whole postseason run. But defensively, man, I think it's just hard. It's just hard for those guys to go through. And y'all talked about it last episode, actually.
Dub, even my boy Giannis, if you think about it, think about most of the chips that have won. They're played attacking the basket going inside, and then they played out. So when you play with a guy like Giannis who won a chip, they're going inside out. AD who won a chip, inside out. Jokic who won a chip, playing inside out. But the thing is this, when you're a guy like the big fella over there in Phoenix, and you have to play against those guys, I'm going to tell you, this is why I disagree with what Bob said. Bro, ain't no big man going to want to keep getting chopped up down there in the post, and you ain't getting them touches either. You want to get some get back. For example, you go back to the NBA Finals when Phoenix played the Bucks. It's unfair that Giannis is coming at you. He's getting 25 shots a game, and you getting 8. That's bro, and then everybody's looking at you like you got annihilated. Well, damn, you ain't even get a chance to go back at this dude. You didn't even get a chance to make them play.
That's the problem. People worried about what it looks like. I'm talking about sacrificing for your
team
to win games.
But it's not only what it looks like, Bob. Is that you want to put pressure on them to play defense too. I want to put pressure on him to play D too, not just me have to play D on him, and then he have a vacation on the other end because he know they're not coming to me. Now
I'm looking at it like if we play. And to Ticket's point, I can play offense. It's not like I'm just one of these dudes out here that just wants to put pressure on them, and I ain't really that good offensively. I can knock down the mid-range. I can score in the post. And the fact that you're just making me look like a rim runner, the fact that you're just making me look like a dude who's just a putback guy or a pick and dive guy, I'm better than that. So allow me to go back at this dude.
And I understand that. I do understand that. But look at it though. Look at it though, Chitchat. If we're playing the Lakers and I'm Deandre Ayton, I'm matched up with Anthony Davis. But if I'm Frank Vogel though, I'm looking at it like, yo, I got DeAndre Ayton matched up with Anthony Davis, but I got Bradley Beal matched up with Austin Reeves. I'm not look, DeAndre. When I get you the ball, I get you the ball. But for right now, we're cooking with Brad right now. DeAndre, play defense and rebound.
And DeAndre needs to come to that realization where, bro, you're not going to be getting touches with Beal, Booker, and KD there. Be a team player. Go give some more effort on defense, and dedicate more to that. I mean, basketball is a game of sacrifice and roles. We're a team trying to win a championship. You feel me? It's not that your talent isn't there, and I hear y'all that he will be upset with that. But if you really want to win, you really want to compete at the highest level, bro, you got to take one for the team, bro, and be like, you know what? I know I'm better than this, but I'm going to give – on the other side of the ball, I'm going to give 100% effort so that I know that we can win. And he needs to have that level of mental maturity. You feel me?
But this is the reason. This is the difference between when you actually played and you didn't play. And you didn't play, so you don't understand this type of stuff.
Bobby played. He's agreeing with me. Hold on.
Hold on. Respectfully.
I hate that shit, bro.
No, but you can't hate. Hold on. Respectfully. For example, you're a wrestler. I can't tell you what it feels like to be on the mat, because I've never been in those positions before. I can sit out here and analyze it as much as I want, but you've been on the mat. You've been in situations where you've been put in certain situations in a wrestling match where I can't tell you what the best move is or what to do to get out of that. I can only tell you what I think it is, but I've never experienced that. So when I say that about being on the basketball court, it's the same thing. If you're DeAndre Ayton, I'm talking more than just what you think. I'm talking about your mindset, everything else. If they're coming at me and I know I'm going at him, guess what I know? Giannis knows he got to play D on me too. He knows he ain't getting a vacation on me and got to be able to help. He knows he got to guard me too. The other teams knows they got a game plan for me too. But when I cut that out and I say, yo, we're going to give it to you when we need you and we want you to be a rim runner this, now what you've done is you've given the other team a whole night off because they know that your team is not really focused. Hold on, Bob. They know your team is not really focused. But Bob, listen, hold on, Bob. Listen what I'm saying. Because as a big, bro, when you asking me, and I ain't talking about no big that ain't got no offensive game. Ayton got an offensive package. It was picked number 1 for a reason. So as a big, when I'm playing against a dude that's getting all these possessions and putting me in drive and attacking me all the time, bro, I want to be able to go back at him. Why? Because if you look at Ayton, a lot of these series, he's getting 2, 3 quick fouls because he's having to play defense on these guys. He's not able to attack them and take up fouls on them by attacking them. And then when you do get him the ball every once in a while, you're expecting him to produce, which is not right because you're not allowing him to get into a rhythm, which is what a big man needs in order to get going. That's like me telling Hakeem, hey, Hakeem, you playing with KD, you playing with Beal, you playing with this one, but we want you to fall back. We want you to rebound, block shots, and fit in where you get it. No. You feed the big fella. Hold on. If you got a big fella
in the rhythm to be able to open up, make a quick post move, and put up that jump hook, if he has to be in a rhythm to make post moves, then he's not as gifted offensively as you're saying he is.
That's not true. All big men need a rhythm.
No.
All big men need a rhythm. All big men need to catch the ball and post the rhythm.
We've talked about this before. We've talked about this before, and y'all know how I feel about it. So I know I might be the only person on this side of this fence. But if I need to have 15 shots a game to score 15 points, then I'm the problem.
Nobody said that.
Well, look, what I'm saying is this, Ticket. If I'm playing back to the basket and I can't catch the ball, power dribble, go up on my jumps. If my jump hook, if I have to be in a rhythm to do that, because I feel like playing defense puts me in a rhythm already. I'm under the impression where what you're saying is that I have to be able to get my touches back just because he's getting his touches back. If that's not going to win us the basketball game, that's not what we need to do.
No, that's what
he said. Chill. But this is what I think. I understand what he's saying, and I'm not trying to write off like things like that isn't important. Like things like that is important. But when not even basketball, the basis of being the team of a crew, us what we're doing right now. Right. I can't be on the show acting a fucking fool, yelling over y'all all the damn time. Because even though I can do it, I understand for the betterment of the show, that's not good content because everyone wants to hear what you. Hold on, listen for a second, Ticket. Jesus Christ, I'm not sneak dissing. I'm trying to create understanding for you. Jesus. I know Chill needs to talk. I know Ticket needs to talk. I know Bobby needs to talk. I know Mars needs to talk, right? I need to take the sacrifice of, you know what? Let me chill out for a second to let these guys eat. Let me focus on other things, even in working environments as well. If we're working part of crew, even though I could do a lot of things everyone else can do, I need to have a level of understanding. I need to allow these guys to eat so that they can be better and we could be better as a whole. That whole it's a team concept that even guys like LeBron James, Kobe, Magic, all these guys understand. I don't have to play basketball to understand the team concept and taking a hit for your squad so that y'all team can be better. Even though I agree with you, rhythm is important to be making shots. There's guys who are rhythm players. Dion Waiters is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, you got ice, man. Listen, bro. Here's why
you said you needed to sacrifice and you needed to chill out sometimes. So I think Steve took it a little too literal.
Hey, listen, here's why you got ice, dog. And I'm gonna tell you why. You got ice because we talking foolishness. We always had a rule, and they're gonna put the fire on me because I'm about to cook your ass. They got a rule, dog. And the rule is that you never go down the court a certain amount of times without the big fella touching the rock. Now, when you got a guy like Deandre Ayton, sir, who shoots 58, hold on 1 second, chill. I'm about to demolish his ass. When you got a guy like Deandre Ayton, who shoots 58% from the field, who shoots 60% from the field for his career, you would be inclined to think, let me get this guy more opportunities, not less. You guys are talking like just get it how you live. Well, guess what? Last year, he averaged 18 and 10 last year on 13 shots, and he shot 58% from the field. Why wouldn't I want to put that 13 and 20 and up his production if I give him higher production based off of the fact that every single year he's been in the career in the league, he's been at 60% or more, or right at 60%. Why wouldn't I want to give a guy who shoot that high of a percentage playing basketball around the basket? Why wouldn't I want to give him more opportunities? Why wouldn't I want to make a guy that's 18 and 10, 26 and 10, more lethal in the post? Why wouldn't I want to feed that guy versus guys like Bradley Beal, who's shooting under 45% from the field, versus guys like KD, who's older and tapering off, versus guys like Devin Booker, who's shooting 45% from the field? I've always been a guy who played the percentages, and I like a high percentage guy who can get me buckets. So why would I dumb him down and lower his opportunities when the last couple of years he's giving you 18 and 10 off of only 13 shots, shooting 60% from the field? If I'm smart, I want to up that to 19 or 20 points a game, 20 shots a game, where I'm getting 28, 29. So the 15 shots Bob's saying to get 15 points ain't never been that guy. He's always been hellified efficient So that fact and that logic doesn't work with DeAndre Ayton, because if you pull up DeAndre Ayton's numbers, his stats say otherwise. His stats say he the deal. Period.
Mars, if we up DeAndre Ayton shots, so the 13 shots that he was shooting, if those 13 shots turned into 17 or 18 shots, is it fair that 18 could go to 24 to 25? That's not including free throws. Is it fair that 18 could not go to 24, 25 a game? Is that fair or no? Or is that not fair?
I mean, it's possible. I just didn't like the implication that his shots would go up, but his efficiency wouldn't go down. That doesn't make sense. And Ticket said it a few days ago when we were talking about 3-pointers. It's harder to be more efficient when you start taking more shots. He said that, but now with DeAndre Ayton, we're just assuming
he's a big shooter closer to the basket.
Yeah, and now we're assuming you take 7 more shots. Like, the reason he's so efficient is because the shots he takes are more easy shots, because he's not getting the offense run through him. He's getting easier looks, which is why he takes less, but why he's more efficient. Now, if you start running an offense through him, he's not going to get as many easy looks because he's having to create them for himself. Now, if you think he's good enough to do that, that's fine. But to act like his efficiency wouldn't go down when you give him larger offensive responsibility wouldn't make sense, because if you're giving him the ball nearly every single possession, teams are going to start loading up on him. He's going to start drawing more defensive attention. That's going to make him less efficient. And also using field goal percentage when Devin Booker and Bradley Beal and KD shoot threes kind of.
Can I answer a question? Well, Giannis didn't have many post moves, but when his attempts went up, his efficiency didn't change. His percentages didn't change. In fact, his percentages went up. Why? Because he got more touches and he plays closer to the basket, around the basket. So yes, my logic, I said yesterday about shooting the ball, we were talking about 3-pointers. We weren't talking about closer to the basket. When you shoot shots closer to the basket, if you're a big man, you're normally going to shoot a high percentage, whether you're shooting a lot or whether you're shooting a little, because of where you're shooting them from. Now, if you're shooting from 3 and shooting more, that's different when you're shooting from longer range, because you're putting a longer trajectory on those shots. But when we talk about closer in, a guy like Ayton, I want to get him the ball more, because if I'm getting him to produce more, guess what big fellas normally do? And this is why y'all got to play the game to understand what I'm saying. Normally, when you are getting your big man more touches, guess what your big man wants to do? Run the court harder, help you more on defense, rebound more, block shots more. He does all the little things and plays harder, because he knows on the other end, you're going to come down and feed the big
shit regardless.
No.
I'm pretty sure this is one of Giannis's most inefficient years he ever had. But
Dub, you keep saying he's doing that regardless. He would do that. He would do that regardless when he's involved. Remember who we're talking about. We're not just talking about a rim runner. We're not just talking about a good player. We're talking about the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who's been there for 5 years now. Add that to the fact that KD just got over there. The only constant that they had was him and Devin Booker, which is who this team was supposed to be built through. Right?
Yeah.
This team was supposed to be built around these 2 dudes. But now here come Bradley Beal. So now I got to go even further to the back of the line. Even though I was a double-double dude, before these dudes showed up. And I was getting better. Let's make sure we clear on the fact that I was getting better. Now, to Mars's point, now, when we're talking about a guy getting the ball on the block, DeAndre Ayton, being a rim runner that he is, getting putbacks. I mean, those 13 shots aren't them just coming down and going to him and him getting buckets. No, that's not what the case is. Those 13 shots are a combination of him rim running, getting putbacks. Now, when they start going to him more, sure, the defense is going to adjust. But the defense is going to adjust, and the offense is going to recognize that, which would get DeAndre Ayton even more opportunities, because you got KD out there, because you got Devin Booker out there, because you got Bradley Beal out there. So you can't just primarily focus on DeAndre Ayton, because if you do that, these dudes are going to kill you, which gives DeAndre Ayton even more opportunities offensively.
Dub, that's my
brother.
That's
point that right quick, Ticket. That's actually the point that I'm thinking with DeAndre Ayton. I think he's actually he might actually score a little bit more. It's going to be games where DeAndre, has upper 20s and stuff like that, just because he's going to be getting not only easy looks, offensive rebounds and stuff like that, but you got guys like Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, who the defense is going to have to key on. So that leaves him with easier looks. On top of that, too, you guys don't think that he's going to be running in the second unit?
No, they're not willing. No, but Ron, they're not willing. First of all, 2 of those guys are not really willing passers. And then let me eat the Mars on this, Ron. So we talked about
this is the biggest
hold on, Dub. I know you want to stop your brother from getting ether, but let him put on his pants. Let him wear his own pants. Let him wear his own drawers. I gotta say something. I gotta respond to Mars. I know that. Because I'm finna blow his head off right now. So Mars is saying, as I was telling you, Chill Town, from the big men, when you get them higher production, they get into a rhythm and they actually play better because big men play better once they get the ball more going closer to the basket. Well, if you looked at Giannis, when Giannis was shooting 9 shots a game, 9.6, he shot 49%. The very next year, he shot 12.7. His percentage went up to 50. The very next year, he shot 15.7. His percentage went up to 52.1. The very next year, he shot 18.7. His percentage went up to 52.9. Then at his highest, when he was shooting 19.7 shots a game, Giannis shooting 55.3% from the field. So his percentages, as his shots went up, his field goal percentage went up. And then this past year, he shot 20.3 shots per game, as highest of his career. It was the same as the 19.7. He shot 55.3%. And he's the only player in NBA history to shoot 55% from the field and average 30 since Will Chamberlain. Again, I'm cooking and you not. You always feed the big fella.
Sure I'm understanding.
You play the percentages.
Your ether for me was to use one of the 5 greatest finishers of all time to prove that big man.
No. He didn't start as that though. Giannis didn't start as that. Yeah, Giannis started as a hold on. Giannis started as a hold on. Here's the difference. Giannis started as a project, and the boy we talking about was more advanced coming into the league because he came out of college. He didn't even get the opportunity Giannis was getting in his 4th year in the league. And Giannis's 4th year in the league, when he was shooting 15.7 shots per game, that's more than any season Deandre Ayton has had with the Suns. That is atrocious. Because
Giannis was playing point guard.
No. I'm saying, but no, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying that is atrocious for a number 1 pick. If you go look at the history of number 1 picks that can score, whether they were bigs or anything else, bro, they're getting 18, 19 shots a game. Max, period. So those are the number 1 picks that can score. I ain't talking about a pick that's a rim runner. All I'm saying is I agree with Chilltown. He never got that fair opportunity from day one. So now everybody's putting him in a box. And what y'all doing is y'all demoralizing the man. That's why he don't want to be there. And I'm just telling you this from the mind of a big man. And I understand where Bob coming from. Because Bob is saying, look, just go get it like Moses Malone get it. Moses Malone was a different cat. Moses Malone didn't care. Moses Malone told you to shoot the ball because I'm going to go get 20 rebounds. But Moses didn't have the offensive package. And he didn't have the mid-range game and the stuff that Ayton has in his game. Ayton has a 15-footer. Ayton can post up and shoot a jump hook. Ayton has a few moves, and he can rim run and finish above the rim. Moses was more one-dimensional in his offensive game, so he didn't have a refined offensive game, so he wasn't a dude you're giving the ball to 20 times, so he could go do what Bob said go do. But when you talking about a dude like Ayton who's highly skilled like that, bro, they mismanage him from day one. Then you bring in all these other dudes who are shooters first. Then the point guard you had, you got rid of him. So you don't really have a point guard that can even everything out and distribute them out. Bradley Beal's never been a dude, a distributor in his career. He's never been a dude willing to come up off the ball. KD, he can distribute, but he's never been a dude that you said, hey, look how many times KD's giving it to the big man. He's never really played with a big man that can score in the post. And then you talk about Devin Booker. He's played with the man his whole career, and they've underutilized the man. And you seen what happened when they got to the finals and they didn't want to use him. And he still was giving you, in those first 2 games in the finals, he gave you 20 and 18, and they went to him less after that. And they won the first 2 games. Look it up. The 2 games in the NBA finals where they played, he had 20 and 18. Remember that Chilltown, the first 2 games? He was killing. In the games they lost, they gave it to him less and lost.
My thing more so was about the Suns as opposed to just DeAndre Ayton. So what I want to just kind of say to finish my statement was that if DeAndre Ayton isn't, which I think he can be, and it will be elite if he was able to kind of, elevate his mind and take what y'all consider a lesser role. I don't consider it a lesser role. But if he were to do that, I think that would elevate his team. If he's not willing to do that, then fine. I'm not too concerned with DeAndre Ayton. It's like, okay, if he's not willing to do that, if he's not willing to sacrifice to help his team win, because if he's not, I don't think they're good. If you give me DeAndre Ayton 20 shots a game, they're not winning. So I feel like if he's not willing to play, defense, rebound, protect the rim, get busy when he gets the ball, get his 8 to 10 shots off, get rid of him then. Because if he can't do that, then it's going to be the same cycle. Him getting frustrated with the new coach, him getting frustrated with the new point guard. So if he wants to be a prima donna, wants to be a diva, by all means, get him out of here.
Talk about it, because this is the big
how egotistical athletes are.
Bro, this is like
a wide receiver or something.
Bro,
you say you care about winning, but when we say you need to sacrifice to win, all of a sudden that's no.
It's a fucking problem. It's a problem. This is the biggest form of problem.
Winning if you're not willing to do what it takes to win. This is in order for DeAndre Ayton to get more shots, you have to take shots away from KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, who are all undeniably better scorers than him. So there's no way in hell that is not detrimental to the team in some capacity. You're giving the guy who's the worst scorer of the four more shots to make him happy when he's by far worse than every single person who you are taking shots.
He has the better percentage. You want him to take the hardest matchup.
It's the biggest.
No.
You've been talking this whole time. No. You've been talking this whole time. No. You've been talking this whole time, bro.
No. Hold on. Mars is a man, bro. Let him stand on his own too, bro.
Hold on. No. Because this is the biggest defensive assignments. The biggest form of coddling I've ever seen from two guys that grew up in the 80s and 90s and hate how soft this era is. But here you go coddling him, man, because he's a first round pick. He's just not better than Beal. He's just not better than Booker. He's just not better than KD. You want to know why his percentages got went so? Time out. You want to know why his percentage went up so fast? Because his percentage went up as soon as Chris Paul got there, because you're getting easy looks from Chris Paul and Devin Booker, making their game bigger and making it easier for him to get off. That's another reason that you don't want to sit here and acknowledge. But here we go again. You want to coddle this guy? No. You want to coddle this guy? You want to coddle this guy because he's a first round pick. It's supposed to be his crew. Guess what? Things happen, bro. There's a bunch of first round picks, first round draft picks, number one picks that don't go well. You're good though, but guess what? You're with KD, you're with Devin Booker, you're with Bradley Beal. Chill out. Relax.
First of all, when you get older, when you get older, aren't those guys supposed to chill out? Isn't the guys like KD, who's 36 years old, getting hurt every single year, missing 30 games? So he's supposed to hold on, because now you about to get the Grand Slam dipset, pardon me, B, on your helmet. Now, KD's 36 years old, every year getting hurt, every year breaking down, every year being inefficient in the playoffs, every year getting swept, and he's supposed to take a backseat to him? That same dude who can't take it up to that next level and do what he needs to do in order to win, he's supposed to take a backseat to him, even though he's the young guy. He's the one that's up and coming. He's the one that's shooting damn near 60% from the field. He's the one that they hold that game back. It goes like this.
Watch this.
You listen.
Trying to justify it.
Let me finish going.
Answer me this question. You live in the room, people.
So he has to take all the toughest matchups.
What year did Chris Paul join?
All the toughest matchups. He got to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. He got to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo.
What was that, too? What year did he join?
He got to go guard Jokic. He got to go guard
2021, right?
He got to guard AD.
Take it.
He got to guard
Chris Paul joined in 2021. Name me his best field goal percentage season since you want to bring it up. Name it. No, name it real quick. Name it real quick.
I'm not finished with you, sir.
Name it.
Because you was getting cooked. Don't get mad because you was getting cooked. Like
Name
I said
it.
Again, you want an old ass who's breaking down, who ain't nowhere near the same in the playoffs. You want a young dude that's shooting damn near 58% from the field. You want him to take a backseat for them old geezers who getting hurt, who get in the playoffs, who getting swept, who getting locked up, who trying to shoot over 3 people and it ain't working. You want him to take a backseat to him. You want him then, sir, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do because I will cook your ass out of that room.
You're cooking yourself. You're cooking yourself. And let me tell you why. You're cooking yourself.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Finish.
So you didn't want him to take a backseat to a guy named Bradley Beal, a man who is a master of nothing. He's a master of no winning. He hadn't done anything on no level. He hadn't proven anything. Deandre hadn't been to the NBA Finals without him, without KD. He had Booker on the team. And what did Booker do when they got to the biggest moments in the final? He folded like a cheap lawn chair. Guess what? Like I said, if the left one don't get you, sucker, the right one will. You can't mess with me. The bottom line is this. Them dudes is old. KD is old, and every year he's breaking down. He's the one supposed to take the back seat for the young guys. He's the one supposed to be able to take lesser shots and be more efficient.
No, is he done talking? It's just 5 minutes now. Is he done talking yet?
And then Bradley Beal's supposed to take a back seat. Why? Because he had to leave his house, his throne, his car, because he couldn't lead his team to the promised land. In fact, let me cook it further.
How many points you want to say, Ticket? Are you done or you not? Are you done or you not?
Until Russell Westbrook went over there and saved his sorry ass from
him real quick. He's been talking for 5 minutes now. Hey, you're done? So like I said, you're done?
To finish your ass off, to finish you off, you want him to take a backseat to a dude in Bradley Beal who had to have Russell Westbrook go over to his franchise just to make him relevant for a year again because his sorry ass didn't have any effect on winning. He didn't have any effect on good leadership. That franchise was ran in the ground and they were going nowhere faster than that dude. He had to come over to the Phoenix Suns to be relevant. So now all of a sudden, you're going to take a dude in Deandre Ayton who did go to the NBA Finals and didn't need KD or Bradley Beal to do it. You want him to take a backseat to those two buffoons? No, I think not. Ain't gonna work on me.
This fucking guy is ridiculous. Number one, the same shit, losing shit that you're criticizing KD for. Guess what? Ain't been doing that shit ever since he got into the league. He didn't make the playoffs his first year, didn't make the playoff his second year, lost in the finals, got showed up by Giannis Antetokounmpo, lost against the Dallas Mavericks, lost last year, was getting cooked by Jokic. The same shit you talking about with KD, Ayton was getting his ass whooped too. What the fuck are you talking about? And then you're gonna sit here and bring up these percentages with Ayton. As soon as Chris Paul got on the fucking unit, he shot his best percentages with Chris Paul. Telling you and should tell everyone that it's not because, oh man, he's so talented, such a big guy. Maybe he's getting easier looks with having a pick and roll phenom with Chris Paul. His talent, he's a good player. His talent is dictated off of what Chris Paul was doing for him, giving him easy lobs, working off the pick and roll, and Devin Booker. And then you're on a crew with Kevin Durant. Last season in regular season, I think he was leading the league in scoring, or like top 3 on crazy efficiency. Devin Booker's clearly a better player. He was the reason why they won 2 games. Bradley Beal is still a better player than what Ayton's going to give you. What the fuck are you talking about? And you want to sit here and tell me that you want to give a guy like that, Ayton, who's consistently been dropping, 14 points in the postseason? Give me a damn break, man. Come on. What are you talking about?
Let me finish you off real quick because you easy work. A caveman can do it, like I always say. And like I said before, you're too easy. First of all, his first year in the league, he was shooting 58% from the field. That's almost 60, sucker. Chris Paul was nowhere to be found. Now, like I said, you can have a whole crowd against me because I already know every day I come on PC, I'm on the road because nobody over here likes me, but it doesn't matter. I whoop your sorry asses anyways, dump a mud hole in you, and walk that SOB crap. Like I said, hold on. Like I said, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put some imp in it. Hold on, Bob, because I'm going to tell you what happened.
Last point, Ticket. Last point. No, wait, last point, then you got it. Last point. I just want to say this last point, and then you got it. Last point, and then you got it. Last point, and then you got it. Last point. Y'all the same. Last point. Ticket. No, last point. Listen, Ticket. Just the last point, and then you got it. Last point, and then you got it. No, Ticket. Last point, and then you got it. Ticket. Hold on. Ticket. 1 second, and then you got it. Ticket. 1 second, then you got it. These are the same motherfucking people that get mad at this damn generation for being divas, for not giving effort, for sitting here and you get mad at people coddling the fucking players, and here y'all are coddling DeAndre Ayton for not wanting to play behind 3 guys who are just better than him. Are you kidding me?
First of all, what is Bradley Beal proving? Bradley Beal,
definitely better.
I got him. Bradley Beal is a master of nothing. He's a man of many things. He's a master of nothing. So he has done absolutely nothing his entire career that personifies winning. Oh, young boy's already been to the NBA Finals, and guess what? When you actually gave him the ball in Game 1 of the NBA Finals when they won, he had 22 points and 19 rebounds, sir. And guess what he shot from the field, sir? You know what he shot from the field? 80%. He was 8 of 10 from the field. Why didn't he get more than 10 shots? I don't know. I'll let you answer.
Because Chris Paul had 30.
Hold on. You said you're going to let me go. Let me go cook your sorry ass. So he had 22 points and 19 rebounds in the NBA Finals. Should have got more shots. He only had 10 shots that game. So then you went to the next game, sir. What did he do in the next game when the Phoenix Suns won the next game, sir? Since I'm going to kick your ass, stomp it, and walk it dry once again. And in the very next game, the man had 10 points and 11 rebounds. You know why? Because they didn't even give him more than 10 shots the next game.
And they won.
So he gave you, hold on.
They won that game.
Hold on, listen. He gave you 22 and 19.
They won the next game.
Hold on. No, listen to what I'm saying. I want you to think. Listen to what I'm saying. He gave you 22 and 19 in the first game. You would think that a guy like that, I'm giving more opportunities to on a nightly basis that's giving me that on 80% from the field. Not 50, not 40, 80. So then you go to Game 3 when they lost. Now, this is when Giannis is in full effect, right? When they lost, right? Now, here's the part where you guys don't give him the credit, and it's very, very unfair what y'all do to the brother, bro. The third game, he gave you 18 points and 9 rebounds in only 24 minutes. You know why? You know why, Chilltown? He shot 72% from the field. You know why, Chilltown? The reason why is because he had to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo, who put him in drive, got 2 quick fouls, and he's on the bench. Meanwhile, they won't keep feeding this dude the ball, who went 8 of 11 from the field, gave you 18 and 9, and only could play 24 minutes. Because when he's in the game, they don't consistently keep giving him the ball so he can attack and make the other man play defense. But what do? These dudes will jack up all the shots. So in that game, sir, he was 72% from the field in 24 minutes and had 18 points, 9 rebounds, sir. In that game, in only 24 minutes, and they lost that game. They should have went to him more.
The fact that you're just using numbers and not acknowledging that he's getting not what context, because Chris Paul helped him out in game 1 to get that 8 shots that he made in game 1 and in the 18 that you're talking about. Like I said, it's not just him cooking everybody and cooking all these dudes and saying doing this shit. No, he's working off of Chris Paul, off the pick and roll action, and D-Book. What are you talking about?
Nobody is coddling him. Let's make sure we clear on that. Nobody. I am not coddling him. What I am asking. Say that again. No, I'm not coddling him. What I'm asking, we got the number 1 overall pick in the draft, right? There's a reason why you invested the number 1 overall pick in the draft. That's a franchise player. That's not a good player. That's not a piece. This is the guy I'm building my unit around. Number one overall pick. And with that being said, I got a guy that I need to do this, and this. And he's doing that. But then now you bring all these other guys on because it's obvious that you're not sure about this guy. So now what you're doing is you're screwing with his confidence. You're screwing with his confidence as a ball player more than anything. And 90% of this is mental. And if this guy doesn't think that you guys believe in him, you're going to see what you saw last year in the playoffs where he looked soft. You're going to see what you saw a year ago where he looked like he didn't give any effort because he doesn't feel like he's involved. If you invested on
that can't be an excuse.
Hold on. I got it wrong.
That's not an excuse.
I'm not blaming that on the player. Entitlement. I'm not blaming it on the Suns wanting to level up and make their chances as high as possible to win a chip. Have some mental maturity and sit here and acknowledge that they just want to win chips and they want to surround you with some great players. What's so hard about that?
I hear you, Love, and it's even deeper than mental maturity. If I'm on the court and I'm competing, a couple things. First off, I'm playing for a contract. I'm playing for my family. I'm playing for my own dignity. But on top of that, if I'm playing against somebody else, I'm not finna just sit there and watch Jokic get rebounds over me. Especially if I'm playing against the league MVP. Yo, I'm playing the best that I possibly can. Ain't nobody gonna be sitting out here calling me soft.
He had 9 rebounds in 24 minutes, Ron. What are you talking about?
There has to be a competitive spirit in him. But
15. In 24 minutes?
I can appreciate the logic of this. I can appreciate the competitive spirit logic in it. But any of you guys know, I can tell you right now, if I'm running with Ticket and we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trips, and I don't give Ticket the basketball, Ticket ain't going to rebound for me. I don't care how hard Ticket play. I don't care how hard Ticket go. He is not going to get on that backboard. He is not going to play defense. And you know why?
Ticket need to sit his ass on the bench.
No, Ticket don't need to sit his ass on the bench. You know why? Because Ticket is offensively gifted. And his offense and his defense come together when he's involved in the game. And when you don't involve him in the game, this is what you're going to get. Big Ox, you being a guy who not really offensively gifted. So you don't mind playing like that. So that's different. Chill. What I'm saying is just entitlement.
Well, look, chill. What I'm not entitlement, Mark.
It's not 1,000% entitlement. Hold on. Exactly what you're saying is, I need to be involved on offense for me to play defense. But no one says.
But that's what you're giving. That's what you're giving to Bradley Beal, Mars. You're saying Bradley Beal needs shots.
No.
Hold on. You guys are saying he should take a back seat to Bradley Beal.
If you're not getting the ball on offense, you still play defense. That's part of your job.
You do take a back seat to Bradley Beal.
You do your job. That's entitlement. Give someone an excuse to not do their job. That's entitlement.
Why should he take a back seat? What is Bradley Beal doing? What is Bradley Beal doing?
Better than him. That's why he should take a back seat. Bradley was better than him.
No matter what, because like when I said to Ticket about maybe you more offensively gifted. That don't mean, and you can ask anybody. Anytime I get you on my you on my back and you on the block, you're cooked. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm at least against the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? I could do whatever, but still, I understand it's not about that. I have a winning mentality. I want to win games. So if I know that if I know that I haven't got the ball 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many possessions, I'm still gonna play. I'm still gonna be on every glass. I'm still gonna rebound. I'm still gonna play defense. I'm not gonna be pouting like, oh, they didn't give me the ball. So, that is a loser mentality, and you do not deserve to be on the court.
Bob, you're right, Bob. I agree. I agree with you, Bob. I agree with you, but then you can't, Bob. Then you can't complain when he's out here getting torched by the other best player on the team, whether it be Giannis or Jokic. Hold on, Bob. No. I'm not saying you. I'm saying that's what they're doing. They're complaining, saying he ain't doing nothing when you ain't even looking out for him and getting him the touches he needs to be able to get in the rhythm and go back at this guy. This is why you have great coaches like Greg Popovich. Hold on, Bob. This is why you have great coaches like Greg Popovich. Because Greg Popovich, you know what he's going to do, Bob? If you score in the post, guess what he's going to do? He's going to come back to you a second time. He's going to come back to you a third time. He's going to come back to you a fourth time. He's going to come back to you a fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth,
you worry about your
Greg Popovich will tell you shut the fuck up and play ball. That's what he's going to tell you. What are you talking about? Greg Pop gonna tell you stop being a diva. Greg Pop gonna tell you stop being a diva.
I have the ether for this, please. I had to
no, you don't, because they play through the big.
That's fine. I had to do some research because Tick was bringing up field goal percentages. I had to do some research. This year, Deandre Ayton was top 5 in post-up possessions in the league. So he got post-up touches. He was the least efficient of everyone in the top 5 in post-up possessions, less than a point per possession. He was getting the touches, was the least efficient of all the top 5.
Where did you get that information from?
Oh, you can just look it up, NBA post-up stats right there. You can see it all the way right now.
Keep going, Mars. I'm listening.
And then also you can just look at his field goals. 80% of his made field goals are assisted. He's not getting buckets in isolation because, like I said, with the post-up stats, he is the least efficient of all the high-volume post-up players in the regular season. And then I went back and looked throughout the years to see, maybe this was just a one-year thing. No, last year, one of the least efficient high-volume post-up players. The year before, one of the least efficient high-volume post-up players. The year before, one of the least efficient high-volume players in the post. So throughout his career, he's been one of the least efficient high-volume post-up players in the NBA. And most of his buckets actually come from him being assisted.
Hold on.
So the idea that you're going to run an offense through him in the post, and all of a sudden,
how is he still, Mars? Let me ask you a question. If he's the least efficient, how is he still shooting? Hold on, Mars. If he's the least efficient,
how many of his buckets?
No. Here's my question. Here's my question.
I heard your question. You was going to ask how.
No, I didn't ask you. I didn't finish asking you the question yet. Listen to my question. No. Listen to my question. Here's my question. My question is this. For most of his career, he shot around 60% for his career, basically. So hold on, listen. No, listen what I'm saying first. So here's what I'm asking you. You're saying he's one of the higher volume post touches. How many post touches is that? Because if he's only averaging for his career like 12 and a half shots a game, that means that and you're saying post touches, half of those you guys are saying is dunks, alley-oops, or whatever else. How many post touches how many post possessions is he actually getting where he's going and actually trying to score the ball if he's not even getting that many? That's what I'm asking.
Considering the leader in the league on post touches was only 5 a game, Deandre Ayton was at 3.8, practically 4, but we'll say 3.8. He was number 5 in the league in post-up volume, 0.96 points per possession. If you want to be technical, Yusuf Nurkic also had 3.8, and I was at 0.89. And no one's trying to vouch for him getting more post-up touches because we know he's not very good. The other guy who was above him at 3.9 post-up touches is Jonas Valanciunas at 0.98 points per possession, which is actually more than Deandre Ayton, and he's doing it with lesser spacing as well around him. But that's neither here nor there. And the best post-up players, Embiid and Jokic, obviously 1.2 points possession, 1.1.
So they're not even posting up. They're not even. Hold on.
Yeah,
so
the whole league is not posting up at a very high volume. He's doing it higher than damn near everyone else, and he's still.
So hold on. He's getting more. Hold on. So he's getting more post touches than Joel Embiid, is what you're saying?
No, Joel Embiid is at 4.5 a game.
And he's at
Jokic is number 1.
Right.
Jokic is number 1, Embiid is number 2, Valanciunas was number 3, Anthony Davis was number 4, Deandre Ayton was number 5. That's the 5 most people with the most post-up possessions per game in the NBA. Of that 5, Deandre Ayton is the least efficient. That is what I'm saying. You can go back through the years. Deandre Ayton, every time he's one of the most high-volume post-up players in the league, he's one of the least efficient. Also, the reason why his field goal percentage is so high is because 80% of his made baskets come from assists. His shots are being created for him. The idea that you're going to give him more post-isolation touches and his efficiency is going to maintain is not only dumb, it's just incorrect. That's not how it's going to work.
It's not dumb.
You're giving him more isolations where he's already inefficient and saying his efficiency is going to maintain. The only reason he's efficient is because his shots are created for him. You're saying give him more opportunities to create for himself and he's going to maintain the efficiency. No, he is not, because he's never
That's not
shown
true.
that. Even
Well,
with lower
Giannis didn't
volume,
tell you that
with
earlier
higher
on. Hold on.
volume.
Giannis didn't tell you. Hold
Giannis
on.
is the best player in the world. DeAndre
Listen,
Ayton
he
is not
didn't come in
that.
the league.
Don't
He didn't come in the
compare
league as
the
that.
best player in
He
the
didn't
world
come in the
doing
league as that. Did he come in the league as that? Did he come in the NBA like that? Did he come in the NBA like that?
To DeAndre Ayton and act like that's making the case.
Did Giannis come? Hold on. Did Giannis come in the league like that?
A game can still shoot 40%. I guess Trae Young should do the same thing.
Did Giannis come in the league like that?
Player in the world.
Did Giannis come in the league like that, sir?
That doesn't make sense.
Sir, you're being nasty, sir. You're being nasty, sir. Did Giannis come in the league like that?
DeAndre Ayton can do it. No,
hold on. Giannis come in the league like that?
Do that.
Did Giannis come in the league like that, sir? I'm asking you a question.
6'9", 215.
And what was he doing? And what was he doing?
He put on weight. He got
what was he doing?
He got more athletic. He became a better player.
Right, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Now answer. Hold on. You just answered my. Hold on, young fella. Young fella. You just hold on. You just answered my question, and you didn't even know you answered my question. What they did? Hold on, young fella. What they did with Giannis is what they were supposed to do with Ayton, which is build him up. Me and Chilltown are saying that they never built Ayton up. They always played around Ayton. They never built him up. They never invested in making him a better post player. They never invested in let's see if we can actually play through him. They never invested in that style. They did that with Giannis. And Giannis didn't come in the league as a proven guy off day one that we can invest in playing like this for. So what we saying is that him playing with guys like Devin Booker, who jacked up shots, then CP3 coming over there, he never got an opportunity to be built up to be able to develop into that. Because guess what? You can go back and look at players like Jermaine O'Neal. Look at his career. He didn't come in the league like that. He was able to be built up to the player he ended up being, which was a perennial all-star, a guy who get buckets in the post and go to work. You can even look at Rasheed Wallace when he came in the league versus a few years in the league when he started getting those post touches and start having faith in him and help building his game up and he expanded his game. Look at all the other big men who didn't come in the league as established early, but they established themselves because the teams actually believed in them, stuck with it, build them up, and then put them to a certain level. And you saw their rise every single year. Ayton has not had that. If anything, Ayton has had a decline because they've lost faith in him and they went through him less, and that has actually taken his confidence away and made him worse. This is what we're trying to say.
Just so you know, Dub, that year you talking about when DeAndre Ayton, I mean, you brought the numbers up with DeAndre Ayton when he got with Chris Paul and he had his highest efficiency. He also averaged the least amount of points in his career that year too, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like the guy averaging the least is efficient like that, being assisted on mostly from that. You want to sit here and up his production as if he's this guy when he's never even shown us that. He's never shown us that.
Invested in him, dog. They never invested in him being that guy. He was a number one overall pick.
They tried it. They tried it his first year.
It was Devin Booker.
Hold up. Ticket stop. They tried it his first year. They was doing it his second year. Even the games which Chris Paul was getting hurt, they weren't doing it because he just wasn't good. Ticket.
My brother,
they tried. They tried.
How wasn't he good?
Quick question. Are they supposed to take the ball out of Chris Paul's hands?
No, I ain't saying Chris Paul. No, Ron.
Ron, they gave it. They gave it to him. He wasn't good.
I'm not saying Chris Paul, but
who's a better player?
Hold on, Ron. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's a liar because he said they tried when he came in the league, bro. His first year in the league, Devin Booker was shooting 20 shots a game. He was only shooting 12. So how did they try? Hold on. His first year in the league, Devin Booker was shooting 19.6 shots per game.
Why do you shit on Mars for bringing up numbers? And the only thing you have to counter is just shot attempts and not how they're actually generating the buckets.
My brother from another. I want you to listen to. Hold on, my brother. I want you to listen to something, bro. I want you to understand what I'm saying. All we saying to you is this, and if you calm down, stop drinking the tequila so your nose don't get red, and stop acting like a goddamn fool, you'll listen, Santa Claus. So all I'm saying to you is this, right? When he came in the league, all we're saying is that they never invested in him being that dude, because when he came in the league, Devin Booker was shooting 19.6 shots. Then TJ Warren was shooting 14.2. Then Kelly Oubre was shooting 13.4, and he was fourth and 12.3 as a number one pick in the draft. Then the very next year, when you think, okay, let's start investing in him and making him that guy because he was our number one overall pick. The very next year, guess what? His shots go up to 15, right? And he averages 18 points and 11.5 rebounds.
And what happened to his percentage? What happened to his percentage?
Hold on, my brother. Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm almost finished. But Devin Booker was
I need to know the number.
Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm almost finished, bro. Hold on 1 second. but Devin Booker was still getting 18 shots a game. So they still was highly invested in Devin Booker over him. But remember, that was a jump from his rookie year to his second year. So he went from the 16 his first year to the 18.7 his second year, all 14.8 shots. Then his third year comes, right? His third year comes.
No. What were the percentages? You were on the second year. What was his percentage? What was
54%, right?
Okay, that's the lowest he's ever shot in his whole entire fucking career.
Hold on. But the team got better from the first year. They got better.
That's
the
fine.
team got better from the first year.
Point. You're cooking yourself. You're cooking yourself.
Hold on, no,
because you want him. You're talking about how efficient he is. When you actually uptick his production, his efficiency drops. What are we talking about?
Dub, hold on 1 second. We talking about team success. So hold on 1 second, Dub. So they actually went up and win. They went from 19 to like 30-something wins when he got more cuts. But I want you to think about this, right? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Mark. Hold on 1 second. So the next year, this is the problem I have with y'all. The next year, he went from shooting 14.7 shots a game and averaging 18.5 to the very next year, he's shooting 10 shots a game.
Oh, and the team got bad. They went to the finals.
No.
Yes, they went to the finals with
Hold
Chris Paul.
on, I'm not finished. Now I'm about to tell you why. That's because they got Chris Paul. But he shot only 10 shots. And I'm talking about him individually. Now listen, he went from 18.7 to 14.4. They never invested in him and building him up. Now listen, they did go to the final. Cool, no problem. That's cool. Now after that year, he never was invested into where I'm being a guy like the #1 overall pick supposed to be. That's all we saying to y'all. They never gave him a
Fellas, hold on, fellas. We about to move on.
He loses motivation because he's not involved. So the team has the most success it's ever had, but he loses motivation because he's not as involved as he wants to be. Despite the fact that the team is better.
Would you lose motivation when you seen? Would you lose motivation when you seen with Chris Paul and with Devin Booker did in that closeout game 7 against the Mavs? I lose motivation too.
I would step up and help my squad. I wouldn't be sitting there crying.
He wasn't even out there.
All right,
and also, not to mention the fact that you say the team got better in the second year when he was more involved.
Meanwhile, I be giving you 40 and 20, Bob. Why you talking about Bob? I be scoring 20 and 40 on your ass, nigga.
You crazy, bro.
You want to point out that the team got better in Ayton's second year.
Why you talking that team talk? I'd be busting your ass.
I'm losing, and no one cares about your empty stats.
Hold on, Morris. Tick, you always say that little slick shit, but everybody know. The world know. They can hear you. They can hear it in your voice. You don't mean it, and you don't want it.
I don't mean it. What are you talking about? I don't mean it.
I can hear it in your voice. I'll make you hang your boots up.
First of all, you too small. First of all, you too small. That's first and foremost. Second of all, I grew up around lions for real. I grew up around animals for real. I grew up around animals for real, bro. You too small, bro.
But you ain't no animal though. You a Teletubby, and I make you hang your boots up.
Ain't no Teletubby, dog.
I make you hang your boots up. You a Teletubby. You a backyard kid. You a backyard kid. I make you hang your boots up,
bro.
I make you hang your boots up, dog. Stop
I
playing
will dunk your face in, bro. You like work, but you can't even dunk. You can't even dunk. You can't even dunk. You can't even dunk. You can't even dunk, Bob.
I can hear it in your voice. I can hear the shakiness in your voice. You don't believe it,
man. And you got slow feet.
I can hear it in your voice.
Can't even dunk. And you sleep with it.
I'll bring the whole sucker out you, bro, for real.
All right, hey, look, so Bob, I promise you this. Hey, Bob, I promise you this.
Don't promise me nothing.
Hold on, Bob. Hold on, Bob. I promise you this right here live on PC. Hold on. I promise you this live here on PC. Hold on, Bob. I promise you this live here on PC.
Everybody know you lying.
Hold on, Bob. Before the end of this year, hold on, Bob. Before the end of this year, you say you live in Seattle, right?
No, I live. Hey, the world is my trap spot.
Hold on, Hold on, Bob. I'm asking you because we're gonna set it up. Now, I promise you, I'm gonna take my trap spot. Hold on, Bob. Hold on. Wait one second. I'm asking
you want me to be.
Hold on, Bob. Do you live in Seattle, bro?
I'm in LA right now. I was in Seattle yesterday.
Where do you? Hold on. I'm saying, or do you? Because you always talk about Seattle. I'm saying, do you live
international, bro? Wherever you want me to be, I'm a citizen of the world.
Hold on. I'm being serious right now, bro.
I'm being serious. Where you want me to be?
So listen. This is what we gonna do. We gonna set it up. And you, whatever. Hold on. Whatever money you got and whoever believe in you, you tell them to put that bread up on you. and I'm gonna bust your motherfucking. I'm gonna take your money, chump.
Don't nobody believe you, bro.
I promise. Okay, hey, listen,
I
Bob.
can hear it in your voice,
Bob,
bro.
it's cool, hey, Bob. It's cool, hey, Bob.
Dirty,
you can say whatever, Bob. You can say whatever you want to say, bro.
I'll do you
I'm
bad,
not losing to those blue-footed, slow, unathletic chump. I'm not.
Bro.
Period, bro. You can talk all this team talk now.
This ain't what you
want. All this team talk now, bro.
This ain't what you want.
Okay, so listen.
I can hear it in your voice, bro.
Like I said, we're gonna get to it. Okay, we'll see.
Like you all my life,
we'll see. Hey, ask any nigga that played against you.
All my life, I've been doing
any nigga. Ask any nigga. Ask any nigga. Ask any nigga. You easy work, dog. You easy work. You understand?
You soft, bro. You soft for real. And I'll really make you hang your boots up,
bro. You easy work. You easy work, bro. You easy work, bro. We cook dudes like you for a living, bro. We cook dudes like you for a living. You easy work.
See, you always talking about some we. You need some backup.
Where I come from? Where I come from? Niggas like you come in the gym, you'll never come back.
You need some backup, bro. You always talking about some we.
I don't need no backup. I'm coming to you.
So who's this we? You always talking about some we. I'll do you. All your big homies, all your little homies, all your brothers, your sisters.
Look, I'm coming to you.
I'll do them all, bro. Stop playing with me.
I'm gonna start out. I promise you. Hey, Ron. On everything I love. Ron, I'm gonna set it up for you. Hey, Ron, hold my hand to God, Ron. Hey, Ron, you get the camera crew. I'm gonna set it up through you.
I won't do it if it ain't live.
Hey, Ron, I won't do it if it ain't.
Hey, I promise you guys. I promise you, we're going to set this up. All right. Y'all relax. It will get set up. I promise you. Hey, we're going to have the camera crew. I might even have a referee because I can't rely on you guys getting mad because he caught a foul and he caught a foul. No, we're going to have all the rules in line. We're going to have the referee. We're going to have the camera crew. We're going to have Dub and Mars there commentating. It's going to be a real thing. But let's get back into the basketball talk. Let's get back into the matter at hand. Mars, before I get into the super chats, everybody got to talk about the Suns point guard situation. I wanted Drew to elaborate on how you feel about the Suns point guard situation. If there's a guy that they maybe can go get, or are they just doomed? Mars, you're
muted, Mars. Turn your mic on.
My bad.
You good?
Clearly, they have to get someone who's going to get Deandre Ayton the ball, I guess. So, I think they'll be fine as long as Frank Vogel isn't just running a high pick and roll offense every possession. Actually have some plays where KD or D-Book's coming off some down screens, some split cuts, whatever the case may be, and then you just have someone who's at the top of the key who can really facilitate that. That's not going to take too much. I think the scoring, gravity, I guess, that guys like D-Book, KD will just naturally create shots for the role players, including DeAndre Ayton. But I don't think they really need someone like what Chris Paul was meant to be to really just initiate stuff consistently. I do think there's probably going to be some situations where you do need that just to add a level of poise and just slow the game down in certain situations. But over the course of a year, I'm not sure how many of those type of situations they're going to be into where that's really going to be detrimental to them. And also for what they have, I don't know if they really have any viable way of getting any of these point guards who we're talking about. So us saying they need one, if there's no real way to really get it, I mean, what are we talking about?
I think this, Ron, and I know you here live in the flesh, and Shaq, I know you listening, and I know this dude over here is y'all golden goose, but I will crack that egg.
Hey, listen, boy, I'm gonna tell you something.
Ain't no nigga with two left feet. Ain't no nigga with two left feet ever gonna
be. Ain't no nigga with two left feet ever gonna be.
I know, hey, Ron, I know that's y'all golden goose, but I will crack that egg. You better let him know.
Hey, listen, you ain't that, dog. You ain't.
That's all I have to say.
You ain't, bro.
Hey, Ron, you better let him know.
You ain't, bro. You look like you need to hit a black and mild right now, nigga. You look like you need to hit a black and mild right now.
On their court.
Look like you need to hit a black and mild right now, Bob.
Hey, I do it with the black and mild in my mouth.
Hey, Bob. I love you. I'm gonna bust your ass, bro. I'm gonna bust your ass. It's gonna be a St. Valentine's Day massacre, nigga. I'm gonna bust your ass.
Hey, Chitchat. I won't do it if it ain't live, Chitchat.
Hey, chill. It's gonna be I wanted it hot HD. It's gonna be an HD. They gotta bring the HD cams for this. I don't want no interruption on that. And I don't want no excuses either, Ron. No excuses. What I do to this boy, it's going that shit going viral, nigga. And we ain't taking the video down either.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into these super chats. I've been seeing y'all chiming in. Appreciate everybody that's watching. If you're watching, like the video. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Right from the top. Damn. Alan R said L Dub, man. Shaking my head.
Shut up, Alan. Shut up, Alan.
Look, Bob, even the people don't believe you. They know what's up with me. Look at the comment section. They know what's up with me, nigga. Even the people don't believe that shit you talking, nigga.
I thought you said that didn't like you.
They don't believe that shit you talking, nigga. They already know what's up, nigga. They know how we bred around here, bro. Well, you think it's talk. I told you, the niggas I came up around, nigga, we cut cold-blooded killers around here, bro. And we ain't playing no games either. Straight like that.
I'll do them niggas
we
too.
Coming for your weak nigga. We don't aim for the chest. We coming straight for your head, playboy.
I rocks Dolo. I'll pull up with all y'all.
Nah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about me and you.
Bring it back up.
All right.
You gonna need it.
All right, so
just don't bring no baby nuts to the party.
I'm gonna bring some cold with me.
Hey, bring your big boy pants. Period.
Quay White said Ticket gonna lead the league in text.
Man, Ox 6'5", man. Ox 6'5", Ox 6'5",
on a good day, Ticket.
Ox 6'5",
Ox really like for real. He really like 6'4.5".
6'5", 250. Ron, he's 6'5", 250. Ron, I already did my homework. I know niggas that played against Bob. I know Bob's name. Bob is one of them. Bob is a dude who gonna try to get all the boards. He one of them type niggas that's gonna try and be physical with you, push you out the box, that hard picks. I already know what Bob gonna try and do. He gonna try and play that rough and tough rock'em sock'em robot game. I can play that too.
He's Bismack Beyond.
I'll shoulder press you, bro.
I'm saying I know.
Like
Bob,
this.
I already know how you. Bob, I know how you play, dog. I got the scouting report. I do my homework, dog. I know what you gonna do. I know your post moves. How you try to use the elbow when you turn in the post. I already know all that, dog.
There's no way he's doing scouting reports on Bob for 1v1. That's crazy.
Hell no, I've been there.
That's exactly what he's doing, dog.
That's what we do. That's why I told you I know what Chilltown do. Chilltown come in the court talking that crazy talk, that crazy street jungle talk. When he get Chilltown fool y'all on here, like he's some technical office corporation, man. Chilltown get on the court, man. It's a whole different story with that dude. You can see it pouring out his skin the way he play. So like I said before, he never fooled me. That's why I came at him the way I came at him when I came on the show. I seen it. And the same thing with Dub. I knew Dub had something crazy in him. I just didn't know he was a wrestler.
Oh yeah. Wrestlers are.
I'm your favorite hooper's favorite hooper.
Wrestlers are crazy.
That's Michael Beasley, the GOAT.
Hey, Mike Beasley have felt this too, Morris. I mean, I don't want to talk about
y'all in the chat room. Chilltown crazy on the basketball court, y'all. Chilltown the type of dude. He gonna especially if you start talking to him.
Kind of low key dickhead, man.
Yeah, if you you start talking to like I would love to see Ron and Chill. I would love to see Ron and Chill on the court 1-on-1 because that would get real. That would get animated. Ron and Chill.
Chilltown really got game though.
Yeah, Chill got game. Chill gonna talk stuff to you too. He gonna what you say? If you do one thing to Chill, like throw a bow, he gonna be ready to fight you, ready to J you up, talking to you after he get buckets. That's the type of dude he is.
It's like this, Ticket. This is what Chilltown is, right? He's cool balling with you, right?
Right.
But once somebody try to rough his feathers up, they start talking junk. Oh man, he gonna flip a switch. You gotta taste that shit, motherfucker. That's what you gonna tell him.
Look, he probably all extra hard and stuff like that.
He's cool. He's cool until somebody start talking to him. Once somebody start talking crap to him, that's when you start seeing the dickhead.
Somebody says Chill got the Bill Russell game. No, he don't. He don't shoot like Lonzo Ball. The hell wrong with y'all?
That's the scouting report on me. Like, so we're just gonna rock, but start running your mouth to him. You're gonna turn him up. I'm telling you that right now. That's who he is.
That's you, Ticket. That's you, Chill. That is you. That is you.
And Ron too. I can tell with Ron too. Ron the type of dude. Ron a little feisty motherfucker. He the type of dude pick you up full court and start just trying to pluck you and get steals and do all kind of crazy stuff. I can tell what Ron game is.
Ron he like the hidden. He like the sniper, right? You're not gonna see it coming. It's just gonna come out of nowhere.
Boom. Ron the type of dude come get weak side steals and stuff when you trying to post up. He that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we being honest on here, if I hit a couple shots on you, and the smack talking, I'm not gonna do that But I will say this. All right, let's be honest. If I'm busting your ass, I'm gonna let you know. I'm not. If I'm busting your ass, I'm gonna let you know it. Period. That's just how I am. I've seen plenty of shots where I watched Devin Booker or Bradley Beal or any one of these dudes. I watched them hit shots, and I'm thinking to myself, I would have said something to him about that. If I would have hit that right there, I would have let him know about that one going back down the floor. I would have kept my mouth shut on that. So I'm respectable because Joe Dumars is one of my favorite players. I was a big Joe Dumars fan. So I'm very much into sportsmanship, 100%. But if you start yapping and I can tell your game isn't that, and you just talk, I'm going to go after you, and I am not going to let up on you. I'm letting you know that right now. Yep. No.
That's how you got to raise them, man. I respect Bob. I don't want nobody in the comment section think I don't respect Bob. I like Bob. I like a dude that come at you. You know what I'm saying? If he back down, I wouldn't respect him. And that's just fact. So everybody know that. Don't take that and try to run and say, yeah, man, Bob and Ticket got beef. Nah, man. That's my brother right there. But we still going to get it. We still going to go to the court and get it. That ain't going to stop nothing. But I like how he come. That's why I respect you. I could play with him any day of the week because I know how he coming. But I'm still going to bust his ass. That's a fact.
Y'all tune in for that, man. Y'all make sure don't miss that.
I'm definitely tuning into that. No doubt about that. So anyway, Ron, as you were saying,
I've been doing
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to set up
focus, man.
I'm trying to set up everybody's flights. I'm trying to set up the venue, I'm trying to get the concessions and everything right.
Are we all staying at are we all staying in the same hotel?
Man,
y'all stay at the six. I'm staying.
Did y'all see what just came up on Bleacher Report, man?
No, what happened?
They said that the Hawks just got further apart with Dame, and Dame's team is telling everybody that he ain't showing up for nobody except for the Miami Heat. And now they're saying that team's gonna call his bluff. They're saying that different teams gonna trade for him and call his bluff and force him to not show up, bro. That's crazy. It's on Bleacher Report right now, bro. That's crazy.
I'm having a difficult time when we get to the middle of October when training camp starts or when November starts and the games start. Damian Lillard is not going to be on the floor. Damian Lillard is a baller, or as you do say, he a hooper. Damian Lillard is a hooper. So if Damian Lillard ends up in Orlando, if Damian Lillard ends up in, I don't know, Indiana or something like that, he might, in the words of Big Ox, he might poke his lip out, but I can tell you right now, on opening night, he will be on the floor. 100%.
If he sits out, will he lose the money in the contract?
Yeah, he's on Ben Simmons time. Bro, that's illegal.
Like, how much will he lose?
Your contract, your money, your game check. That's $300,000 a game. That's like $350,000 every game. That's like $400,000 a game. Hey, remember, they only gave Ben Simmons his money back because the fool pled insanity. That's the only reason why he got some of his money back. Because he said, remember, he went to the practice with a cell phone in his pocket, and then he told him he was having issues like that. That's the only reason why he got some of that bread back. Other than that, man, he wasn't getting that money back, man. You can't miss. Once you get traded, you belong to a team, you got to show up. Or else your money, they can take that money. They can find you and take your money.
Right.
All right, fellas, on to the next super chat from Sega. Said, what does Luka need to do to be considered a top 5 offensive player ever? He should be over Curry, to be honest.
If his 3-point shot gets like, you said top 5?
Top 5 offensive player.
If his 3-point shot gets to like 37, 38, and free throws at like 80, yeah.
No. Maybe he could try passing the ball before there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
That would help.
I think, and his efficiency has to go up too. Ain't Luka something like a 60-something% free throw shooter, something like that? He's not really.
I think he's at 74. I think.
Okay, so that's better. Oh, that's a lot better. 100%.
That's kind of shocking. I would expect Luka to be a much better free throw shooter than that.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
But wait, Mars, why'd you say no to the 38%?
Because I still think Luka at 38% isn't better than LeBron, Jordan, Curry, Magic, Jokic. So that would mean he's not top 5.
Yeah, I'm packing Magic up, man.
Okay, Dub, replace Magic with Kobe. Still not top 5.
Dub, he's going to have to do it for like a 16, 17-year stretch.
We gotta see. I don't know. The postseason, what he does in the postseason.
How about that? How about just a decade at least?
Because the greatest have done it for 16 years. Like when you think of Karl Malone was putting up numbers going into year.
Let's be real. Let's be real. He just got to win a ring. Once he wins a ring, then we can start having these discussions.
You said offensive, Dub.
I didn't want to have to say it, Dub, but yes, he got to win a ring.
No, but y'all said offensive stat. Y'all said offense. Y'all didn't say his legacy. Y'all said offense.
Right, offensive player. Right.
Hey, I got told Jokic couldn't be top 5 because he ain't winning anything. So
No. We're not saying player.
Jokic hasn't played for. Jokic hasn't been like this for a decade, but he's.
We're not saying player. Hold on, we're not saying player. We're saying offense. That was Low doing that, bro.
Yeah, and Low. The argument against Low was one of the arguments against Low was Jokic ain't done it in the playoffs. He hasn't won.
So not for scoring offense. Not for him saying that dumb stuff about he's better offensively than Kobe. Yeah, bro, you got to do that for all the years, bro.
People said
Kobe did that for Kobe did that for 16 years. Karl Malone did that for 18, 19 years, bro. He's put up 20 and 10.
We ain't talking about the other.
LeBron's been doing this for 20, 21 years. All these great dudes.
No, you have to.
Well, he's not even in the conversation anyway. Like, even if I were to talk about him, he's not in this conversation.
Damn, 28 a game for over a decade? And he ain't in that conversation? 28?
In the top 5 offensive player ever? No.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool. Even if I was gonna justify talking about him, he's not in this conversation. So
is Jokic a better offensive player than Karl Malone, Chill?
No.
Is Joker a better offensive player? Is Joker a better offensive player than Karl Malone?
Yeah.
Not right now.
Jokic's only been doing this for 3 years. Remember,
that's what I'm talking about. He's got to do it longer, y'all. He does. He's got to do it longer. He does.
How much longer does he do it? Does he do it for 2 or 3 years?
He's got to do it longer. Like the Joker's skill set, incredible. No question about that. Joker's skill set, his ability to score, his ability to play, make 100%. But he's got to do it for a little bit longer. I mean, we talking when I think we're in year 8. Joker only been this good as an offensive player for what, maybe 3-4 years?
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. That's not long enough, man.
This good has been like 1 year, but I get it.
Or even okay, Mars. Let's take this year and couple all of these with all the rest of them, and let's average them all out. How many years do you think Joker has been an elite offensive player?
Since 2019.
Okay, so 2019, 2020 is that the 1920 season he's been elite. 1920,
I'd say 2018, 19.
Karl Malone was 25 and 10 for his career. 20 years. This is what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about Malone in terms of his rebound. I'm just talking about Malone as an offensive player. Yeah, no, I'm saying, but
Joker clearly, I think Joker been this good. I'm talking about elite. I'll give him 4 years. Joker could over the next 3 years be good. I mean, Malone was a great offensive player for a decade. That's all I ain't just talking about a skill set. I'm not just talking about Joker's ability to shoot the long ball. I ain't talking about Joker in transition. I'm not talking about Joker's passing, because Malone was a great passer on the box. Malone was a great passer on the wing. Malone was absolutely. In fact, a lot of people forget that delayed cut that came from Malone and Stockton, where guys would cut to the basket and just clear out. Where now with Malone and Stockton, that delayed cut that came from them two, and that's just basketball IQ. But I want to see Joker do it a little bit longer. That's all. I care about how long you did something. If you did something for 2 or 3 years, that's not elite to me, as opposed to somebody who's done something for a decade. I can't put that.
Karl Malone got a 6 year. He got a 6 year stretch where he averaged from 27 to 31 points. Karl Malone is
take the 6 years off. And take the 6 years off. Take it 28 for 11 straight years.
11 straight years. That's crazy, bro.
11 straight years. We got to do averaging almost 30 a game.
Yeah,
Is John Stockton better? Is John Stockton a better offensive player than T-Mac?
No. He's a better playmaker. He's a better playmaker
than Luka.
He's a better playmaker, but he's not a better offensive player.
Well, playmaking is offense and score. Is
I'm saying, I mean playmaker. I mean setting the table. He's a better table setter than T-Mac. But
Tracy McGrady a better scorer than John Stockton. John Stockton is a better overall offensive player than Tracy McGrady.
Word.
I beg to differ.
I know y'all, and the reason why you beg to differ is because you're looking at buckets. That's what, and I can appreciate that.
Well, but
I'm with Bob on that, Chill, because T-Mac had 4 years where he averaged. T-Mac had years where he averaged almost. Let me speak. T-Mac peaked at 6.5 assists, but he was around 5.5 to 5.7 for almost 6 years.
If y'all remember, T-Mac got an extra maybe 3-4 seasons in the NBA just by being able to play that backup PG and distribute the rock. And even when he was at his scoring peak, I mean, I'm not gonna try to play the role like he was like a great distributor, a great passer. Right. But T-Mac could move the pill though. T-Mac wasn't just like
buckets. I won't argue. You will get no argument out of me on the buckets. I will not argue the buckets. But when we talking about playmaking, again, what we have to factor in when we're talking about playmaking, we're talking about getting other guys involved. We're talking about stretching the defense. We're talking about going in, beating up on big guys, creating fouls, which is creating more opportunities for your other players. When I think about John Stockton overall as an offensive player, not a scorer, because him and Tracy McGrady are like this when it comes to scoring. I don't think it's close when it comes to scoring. But as an offensive player, I think John Stockton was better.
I'm not mad at Chill for this though, because you got the offensive side it's so much more than just scoring. Obviously, if we talk about scoring and aesthetics, like come on, T-Mac clears. But it's like, bro, I start to think about different teams and different units, and I can see certain units being a lot more successful with John Stockton than with T-Mac. Now, of course, if you're like, oh well, T-Mac's my number one option and he's the best player on the team, obviously that team's going to be better with Trace McGrady. But for instance, if you swap them off that Jazz team, how far does T-Mac and Karl Malone go? Are they?
Oh, they win a chip.
No.
So they beat
T-Mac in his prime and Karl Malone in his prime.
They're not beating the Bulls.
That's almost Shaq and Kobe.
Hold on, that's almost, and then you got this, and then you got shooters around him with Hornacek. Then you got great role players around him like Big Dog Carr, Ostertag, Byron Russell, Howard Isley. You got crazy there, man. What's wrong with these people, man?
I don't think T-Mac makes all those guys better the way John Stockton did.
But T-Mac don't need to make him better because he's good enough. I will
go. That's where the problem is right there.
I love that. I love that answer.
Hold on. That sounded kind of bad. But that's not how I.
No, that was a great answer. I loved it.
But look. I'm gonna go as far to say that T-Mac and Malone, I'm comfortable taking that over Shaq and Kobe.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Dub was walking down the block with him until he went down the other block.
Why'd you go in the alleyway, bro?
I just want to make sure y'all feeling me. I just want to make sure y'all hear where I'm coming from.
I think it would have been better. I think a prime T-Mac and Karl would have been better because I think Karl was better than Yao Ming. So I think they would have been better. I don't think they would have been better than Kobe and Shaq. No, I don't think they would have been better than Kobe and Shaq. I just think it would have been better than him and Stockton. Y'all got to remember, that whole team was set up perfectly. You had the wing perimeter defenders. You had Byron Russell. You had Howard Isley. You had guys that could shoot the ball, three ball like Jeff Hornacek. You had big men that did dirty work like a big dog Antoine Carr. You also had Ostertag. All these dudes, that whole team they had was laced, man. So I do think that team with T-Mac in his prime, with Karl in his prime, bro, T-Mac was a 30-point per game scorer. Electric. One of the best players in the world. You put him on a team with Karl, they get better than John Stockton, bro, because it was only so much.
He's gonna be down there looking like Deandre Ayton. Then he's not gonna be rebounding ticket because he's not getting.
Hold on, so let me ask you this, Ron. Ron. Ron, let me ask you this question. Ron, would you have said the same shit if T-Mac would have played with Tim Duncan?
Go ahead.
Tim Duncan's better than Karl Malone.
What you say?
Tim Duncan's better than Karl Malone, though.
Man,
and on top of that,
are we just battling to see who can make the worst take in the last 10 minutes?
It's close. No, it's close. Hold on. It's close. It's close.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan is better in my opinion, but Karl Malone is the top 3 power forward.
That's a bad take. Tim Duncan's better than Karl Malone.
It's a bad take. That is close.
No, he's close.
It is close. Mars, you just talking about off the court shit, Mars. Karl Malone is the top 3 power forward. He's number 2.
Mars, this is what I want to. Mars, this is what I want to do.
But Bob, he could be a top 3, right? But there could be a gap, right? There could be a gap.
It's closer than that. It's closer than that. It's closer than that, bro. It's close. Hey, Dub. Let me say this to you, Dub. It's closer to that because when you think about it, think about these two things, right? The greatest player y'all say he ever played with was John Stockton. Tim Duncan did play with Ginobili and Parker, who were 2 Hall of Famers too. So we got to remember, we got to put that into its perspective too. It wasn't like
didn't he have Mark Eaton, Hornacek,
Hall of Famers. I'm saying he had hold on. Tim Duncan had 3 Hall of Famers on his team with excellent role players and an all-time great coach too. And Popovich, even though he had Jerry Sloan over there, but he only had his second best player was John Stockton. Now beyond that, you couldn't give me that. But if you tell me that you're throwing a dude like T-Mac with him, who was a superstar in that time, and then Karl Malone was a superstar, now that changes the mold to me because I just think it's levels. But
Mars, my question.
I'm gonna just say this right quick. Yeah. I'll just put just right quick. The Spurs with Karl Malone might not even get one.
Oh, Ron.
The Jazz. Hold on, wait. They might not even get one.
Go ahead.
The Jazz with Tim Duncan. The Jazz with Tim Duncan. They get
nobody. No. Go ahead, chill. Go ahead, chill.
I can't believe you just said that.
Mars, why? My question, Mars, why isn't it close?
Defense, not close.
And that's the reason why I said they might not get one because the defensive gap.
So the defense is the separator.
Well, one is one of the 5.
What about 99, Ron? What about 99?
One was a borderline. One was a good defender. I mean,
no. I'm saying if Malone's on that 99 team with David Robinson, they get that 99, right?
So the defense.
Well, you have to assume that that's also him. I'm not saying his name in his second year in the NBA. Is him in his second year in the NBA winning that championship in 1999? You can't just put prime version of him. It's
I think they win 03. I think they win 99 too.
Excuse me.
03, Jesus Christ, I ain't going that far. But defense is the biggest separator. Tim Duncan played better in the playoffs. Tim Duncan was a better passer for a longer period of time. The other guy became a good passer later on, but for a longer period of time, Tim Duncan was a better passer. Tim Duncan's a better rebounder. I'd argue Tim Duncan is probably a better back to the basket player as well. No, he is. He's not even arguable. He's a better back to the basket player. I think the offense probably runs through him more seamlessly. But I'd give him the other guy, and I think he's a better offensive player in the regular season. But in the postseason, Tim Duncan is also better, and it's just not close. I'm not gonna lie.
Postseason.
It's a very, very substantial.
Is by far some of the most ridiculous conversations I've seen y'all have.
Welcome to the show, Domo. Welcome to the show, Domo.
Damo's
low down. What up, Lon?
Damo's crazy. It says Domo. What do you want me to say? Welcome to the show.
Now we'll see you in a minute.
Now, Mars, I can appreciate the logic that with the defense, it isn't close. Now, even though Malone, with Malone making an all-league defensive team, Malone did make. He not only is a 4-time all-league defender, he's a first-team all-league defender the 4 times that he made it. Right now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that the defense is not a huge separator. But when I think about offensively, I think about Malone on the block, and I think about how that offense ran through him seamlessly also, which would explain why John Stockton played the way that he played, because that offense ran through him. Also, I think he's a better transition player than Tim Duncan. And in the process of him being a better transition player, I think he's just as good in the mid-range, if not better, as he improves. I think he's just as good, if not better, in the mid-range as Tim Duncan. Now, Tim Duncan being a better rebounder, I think it's a little bit closer than you give him credit for. Malone, I believe Malone had a 10 or 11 year stretch where he was a double-digit rebounder. He was a double-digit rebounder for 11 straight years. With that also being said, I'm not going to say that the defense. I'm not going to say the defense, because again, the defense is the separator. When you get into the when you get into the playoffs, Malone's production did drop. It didn't drop dramatically, but it did drop as opposed to Tim Duncan, who did play better. I'm not saying that Duncan wasn't better, because I do think Duncan was better. I do think it's closer than you're giving him credit for.
Hold on, Chitchat. What years did his production drop in the playoffs? Are you talking?
So in 19. Lo, would you just focus me?
Hold on, Lo, because his rookie year went up. Go ahead.
Hold on. So in 1992, when they went to the Western Conference Championship, his production dropped. And one of the main reasons why his production dropped, because he was going against better defenders. In the Western Conference Championship, he didn't shoot that well, because he went up against Buck Williams, who was arguably the best defensive power forward in the game. So his production did drop then. His production dropped in 1994 when they went in the Western Conference Championship again. When he went up against Otis Thorpe and Olajuwon, his production dropped, because that was arguably I think they were a top 5 defense that year. Olajuwon was the best defensive player in the game.
But he averaged more in the playoffs that year.
He averaged more in the playoffs. He averaged more in the playoffs. What year? Chicken?
In '94.
No. I'm talking about in the playoffs against the Houston Rockets. He didn't.
Oh, okay. You talking about the series? Okay, I thought it was for the whole playoffs. He averaged more points.
Well, we talking about his production going. We talking about his production going down. So same logic. We talking about like in 1996. I think that series against Seattle could have gone better had Malone played better in that series. I don't think that he played as best as he possibly could. So, I mean, he's had series in late in the playoffs where his production has gone down. And again, Mars, what I don't want to misunderstand is that Duncan was better than Malone, but I do think it was closer than you giving him credit for.
It's nowhere near close.
But was it no? Whether or not it's closer than I'm giving it credit, was it close?
I do think it's close because offensively, that's where I think the gap. Offensively, I think that's where the gap closes. I mean, a guy like Malone, again, in terms of his transition play, in terms of his mid-range, in terms of his ability to get to the basket, how his free throw percentage improved, all of those things, how that offense, like you just mentioned, how the offense ran through Tim Duncan, how seamless it was. That was poetry in motion, that offense with him and Stockton and Malone, the way that they played off of each other. That offense was fantastic.
So wouldn't that help? My bad, but wouldn't that help Tim Duncan's case because he never had a guy like that on his squad, and he was still elevating. It doesn't make any sense. He was still elevating in the playoffs to great scoring numbers and even passing out of that. Like I think that point helps Tim Duncan more than Karl Malone.
Well, it doesn't, because if you think about the San Antonio Spurs, a lot of their stuff was anchored off of their defense. That's why they were one of the best defensive teams in the game, and one of the main reasons was because of Tim Duncan. Not one of the in the game, Miles. I apologize. All time, right? But a lot of that was off their defense. Their offense, as good as it was, when I think about the Jazz offense and how I think in '98 they had the best offense in the league that year, and I think the year before that, I think they had a top 3 offense in the league that year. So
hold on 1 second. Chill. Hey, hold on, Dub. We just missed that Low came in here with the Magic City shirt on. Lo, I love you, bro. You got them lemon pepper Louisville.
What you call it? They know Low on a first name basis in the
Yeah, Lo.
They know Low on a first name.
I need from you, Lo. That's the energy 100%. I need from you.
They know Low on a first name basis in there.
Oh man, you real one for that, Lo. I just peeped that. Yo, he got the Magic City sweater on. My guy, go ahead. My bad, though, dog. Go ahead, Lo. Salute to you, brother. Doing it real big. Believe that.
Real big.
Is Ron
Lo running around here like Ricky Ross out here. Biggest boss in Magic City. You know how I go down.
Hey, Lo, I'm going to meet you at Magic City next week, kid.
Okay, y'all are just
Legend to Tipping. I know you got a rebuttal to this whole thing, so let's.
No, it's not even remotely close. Like Tim Duncan is very clearly a better player than Karl Malone. It's not even fair to even compare the two. It's not close to compare the two. And the biggest reason why, especially on the offensive side of the floor, Duncan would have looked like a significantly better player had he had the benefits of playing illegal defense the same way that Karl Malone started. They started to transition the game to favor Malone. And this is the other part I just don't understand. You all give this much praise to John Stockton, and yet there's never been a moment where this is your argument, right? There's never been a moment where Tim Duncan played with somebody of that caliber on his team offensively. Never been a moment. So if you're telling me he gets the benefit of playing with Stockton, and yet he was a worse postseason performer, and he played in an era of basketball where it aided him as a post scorer because they can just space out the floor, which is a huge reason why the offense got better in the late 90s in contrast to the early 90s and the late 80s. You're telling me these things, but there's no way that you can sit here and argue that they're close. They're not close. Duncan is very clearly a better player. Very clearly.
Oh, so rewind, Lo. You just mentioned the fact that Malone was able to play a legal defense and Tim Duncan wasn't. Well, he came in during Malone's prime, so it wasn't like he walked in the door and Malone was over and the defense was changing. No, it wasn't. That same thing was going on when Malone was in the league. That same thing was going on when Tim Duncan was in the league. So the same thing that Malone was afforded, Tim Duncan was afforded defensively. So that's not true.
Yeah, Tim Duncan might have been a better player when Karl Malone won the MVP in 1999, and that was Malone's prime. And Tim Duncan might have been a better player then.
In
1999, in the 98-99
you can make the argument Tim Duncan was better than him then.
You can make the argument if you really want to push an agenda, but I'm not.
And that's the best. You could argue that's the best he ever was.
Come on,
I don't think it was. I don't think it was. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think it
Okay,
was.
okay,
But the
okay.
accolade people will say the best Malone ever was
I'll
those
get that
years from
accolade down.
1999.
No.
And
Yo,
Tim
those
Duncan
was
better
those
than
was
them.
those was
But
those
if
was
the only
premature
argument
flames.
for like Karl
Lo just
Malone
got
is
up here with
scoring
premature
threat
flames.
because
He didn't even say
he's
nothing.
clearly not a better defender. Tim
I
Duncan's
need
a
more
better
from you, bro.
rebounder as well. Tim Duncan's a better passer as well.
Hold on. He was a great rebounder too. Don't get that twisted.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan. I didn't say. I did not say he was. I did not say he was bad rebound. I said Tim Duncan was better. The only thing that
it's close. My
for
bad.
sure, for sure. But he clears them defensively. He's a better rebounder. He's a better passer. And then offensively, if Karl Malone has the benefit, scoring. My bad, scoring. If Tim Duncan has the benefit, I mean, Karl Malone has the benefit of playing with John Stockton, like you're talking about. Tim Duncan did it. I don't understand how that's a point for Karl Malone, and you're not negating like Karl Malone at all when Tim Duncan never played with a guy like that.
But
he played in a zone era. He played in a zone era where it was harder to score, harder to get off, harder spacing. Illegal defense wasn't there, and he was still, bro. He killed Kobe and Shaq, bro.
Yo, we all got Tim Duncan over Malone.
The Jazz swept them too.
But this wasn't. That was not Kobe and Shaq. That Kobe wasn't even. I don't even think he was starting that year. He beat Kobe and Shaq off of a repeat.
Ingenuous a little because the rebounding is close. Karl Malone is 25 and 10 for his career. Tim Duncan is 19 and 10.8. So the rebounding is close. The scoring, you could say, okay, Pop held him back. Tim would have probably scored more points if he would have played on Orlando with a guy like T-Mac. He probably would have scored more, but would he have won as much? See, those are the different things that we're talking about. Like,
but we're talking about from a skill set of who a better scorer is. And what we're saying is a mid-range shooting, I agree, Karl Malone is a better mid-range shooter. But as a back to a basket game and someone's finishing around the rim and just also having the ability to once more not have the privilege to play in the legal defensive era, I still think Tim Duncan is a better scorer than he is.
Feel right when he said he's better in transition, Karl?
Transition is probably the only thing that he's better than.
The back to the basket.
So he's better than mid-range. He's better than mid-range in transition.
So
you mentioned better in the post. I mean, Karl Malone is one of the few guys who perfected burying guys underneath the basket, burying guys in the post, and Stockton getting them the basketball. Now, don't get me wrong. Tony Parker wasn't John Stockton, but Tony Parker was an elite point guard. Tony Parker wasn't a good point guard. He was elite. I mean, Tony Parker did lead the league in points in the paint.
Yeah, he was
Tony
a great
Parker,
scorer.
Yeah, he was. Now,
he wasn't a good playmaking and passing guard, though.
But But the difference is with that offense, with Tony Parker and Ginobili, how much wider is now that offense, which created more opportunities for Tim Duncan.
Tony Parker's a downhill player.
It doesn't matter because even by the time the version of what y'all are talking about, Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, Tony Parker and Manu is like 07 beyond. Tim Duncan had already manifested a career that was more impactful, more successful, more impressive than what Karl Malone did before 07. So before 07, before Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili was even on the roster some of those years, before they were impactful, before they were all-stars, before they were even starting caliber players, before all that had manifested, Tim Duncan had already proven that with or without them, that he was already better. So the argument of like, oh yeah, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, he was more successful before them. So that still doesn't matter.
Now I'm talking about later on. I'm not talking about right from the beginning, Lo. I'm not talking about the guy who showed up when they was winning the championship in 2003.
But that's the version. But that's the version of Tim Duncan that we're referring to right now.
So we're talking about Tim Duncan at his peak from like maybe I guess 1999
98
to like 07. So like 07, yes. Okay, so which is fair as opposed to Malone from I'm gonna say 87 and 97.
And if that's the case, bro, Malone still had more help around him. Still, undeniably, had more help around him.
I mean, Jeff Malone was
Tim Duncan's just better.
He's just
and that part I won't argue, Mars. That part I will not argue. I just don't think the gap is significant as you
notice.
You guys say.
Karl Malone's even better than Kevin Garnett, so I don't know why we're doing this another night.
Yeah. That's why I said Karl Malone's like 3-4 in power forward ranking. And it's like I'm not trying to argue that he's better than Tim Duncan. I'm just saying it's like the gap isn't
where we at, Ron?
I don't know.
We're at the part where
Karl Malone and Tracy McGrady are better than
Kobe and Shaq.
I don't even want to argue that. That's
all right. Well, we don't got to do that. I got
we don't got to argue that. I wasn't saying that was better. I said I'm comfortable, with the matchup. That's all I said. I'm comfortable with that. Y'all act like T-Mac. Y'all act like T-Mac didn't used to cook bean.
It's the Shaq and Malone, in my opinion. That's a wider gap.
Y'all act like Malone ain't used to get at Shaq too.
We have to keep doing that. We got to keep moving.
Saying y'all see what y'all like to do is y'all like to go inside your brain and take out the stuff, unsee the stuff that y'all didn't like to see. You can't. That's not how the world works. Carl used to get at Shaq, and Maxwell used to get at Bean too. So.
When it Malone used to get at Shaq?
What you mean? When you want me to give you a specific date? I'm saying you just watch it.
1997 is as big a deal as Shaq was, and is what Shaq was producing. Shaq was terrible in the pick and roll. Anybody knows that, and they used that to their advantage, and they attacked Shaq any and every opportunity that they got to get him in pick and roll situations, and which would explain why Malone was what Malone was in that series.
What did Malone shoot from the field in that series?
I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you what he shot from the field. I do know that they beat the Lakers in 5 games, though. I do know that.
Now, mind you, I do understand
38%.
On the other end of the floor, it's just as bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? On the other end of the floor, Karl Malone is at Shaq's mercy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not trying to say like Karl Malone's better than Shaq. I would never say that.
He shot 38%.
So how did they beat them then, Lo? Because I remember that series. So how did
maybe
they beat
Stockton
them? Was it because Van Exel didn't do his job? Was it because Eddie Jones wasn't that good, or was it just because the Utah Jazz ran them out the building? Defensively, they were just better.
I think defensively, I think the unit was better, the defensive side, but I don't think it because Karl Malone, especially where his strong suit is offensively, in this conversation that we're having, it wasn't because Karl Malone offensively was just like spectacular. I don't think that was the reason why.
You don't think Karl Malone spectacular on the offensive end of the court?
Not in that series. No.
Okay. I'm talking about overall.
Not in that series. He's talking about. Mm-hmm.
Also, wait, look, because you said something earlier about Tim Duncan's teammates prior to Tony Parker and Ginobili. And I don't know. My daughter that ran in here grabbing stuff, so I kind of like zoned out for a second. You weren't feeling the Spurs, like early Spurs were like, I mean, it was an older Tim Duncan, Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott, those guys, like you mean
older David Robinson?
Yeah, older David Robinson.
Yeah, that's what I'm
David Robinson was over. D-Rob was over.
But I'm saying like that supporting cast that wasn't up to par for you.
No, and every single time I rewatch more of those games, the more like disappointed I am in a lot of those players, especially D-Rob, because he just wasn't as good as.
What about Sean and Avery?
What years are you referring to? Because by the time we get to like, especially 03 when they won again, they weren't on the team anymore.
Just so you know, Big Ox, there's a reason why the Lakers were smoking these leagues in the playoffs in 01 and 02. There's a reason why they were smoking them. Why
Duncan wasn't that guy. Yeah.
Stop.
Right. That he's trolling. No question.
Yeah, I know he's trolling.
I'm bored.
By the time the closer we get to 03 though, like Elliott was like he wasn't the same like shot creator. He was regressing.
Elliott was over.
That was after the kidneys and stuff.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not really that high on that supporting guy. I think,
but they had Speedy Claxton.
Okay, I think Duncan is actually one with like some of the worst supporting cast members. If you look at like the top 10 or top 15 players of all time, I think Duncan is one with some of the worst supporting cast members in NBA history.
I think I can get behind that. I could get with that. But I do want to ask you this. So, okay, maybe I went too far with T-Mac and Karl Malone against Kobe and Shaq.
Oh wow. Okay.
What about T-Mac and Timmy though? T-Mac and Tim Duncan?
That's much closer. That's much closer.
Much closer. I look, if you give me Max Sauce and T-Mac at their prime, forget about it. I'm taking it hands down. I'm putting my money on them.
Hey, Lo, I do have one last question for you. So why are you so down on John Stockton though?
Oh my God!
Hey, real quick.
No. Out of curiosity. No, Lo. Out of curiosity, because we talked about that the other day. Ron, we talked about that the other day when Lo wasn't here. And I never knew why he wasn't like really high on John Stockton like that. I never understood that.
Do I need to get my real answer?
Before you answer that,
he just don't like him. That's why.
I just want to know the honest truth. Why you like? What is it like? Why you not feeling him like that? Like what is it?
Bob, you trying to say something right
there? Before you go, because I got to run, yo. I got my team meeting. We down here in LA. We about to kick off these AAU trips. I got my team from Mexico, high school girls. We did have some visa issues, so we only playing with 7. But y'all wish us luck these next couple.
Go get them, big ox.
Bob, tu sabes.
I don't speak Spanish, stick it, but I appreciate you though. Yo, appreciate y'all.
Hey, y'all learn quick down in Mexico.
Hey, I'll be in Mexico, but I go off body language, brother.
All right. We'll catch up with you next time. Lo, do you want to get into the Stockton agenda or?
No, I just wanted to ask Lo why he ain't feeling Stockton. Like he always been like that. I never understood why. Like what it is.
Do I have to give my real reason or like the?
No, don't lie to us. Don't lie to us.
Just say you don't like Stockton and we can move on.
No,
that's all it is.
No. The reason why is because I don't understand the concepts to why Stockton is high. Like I just don't understand the logic. So when I watch him play, it's not as much pick and roll as people make it out to be, which means that he's not playmaking as much as people make it out to be. So from a skill set standpoint, it's a lot of standing at the top of the key and just like passing the ball. His scoring is really like a large portion of it is like off of open shots that somebody else generated from him, or the opposing team is not like really treating him like a scoring threat. Defensively, he's really good. Transition, he's good. But the rudimentary aspect of their offense that, in my opinion, inflated his stats was a detriment to what type of success they saw in the postseason, because most teams could just easily scheme against it, et cetera, especially in the the late 80s, early 90s. And then ironically, as time progressed and they became more Karl Malone centric and really expanding their realm with illegal defense and what they could or couldn't do, ironically, that's when the offense became noticeably better. And it's also when they saw the most success that they've seen in the late 90s, because in the early 80s, in the early 90s, late 80s, the offense was like below average for a large portion of what they were running. And then so that's that point. And then from a troll aspect, I've never ever in my life heard of a player who gets so much credit for basically doing nothing. It's arguable. It's just statistics. This man has never won an MVP. He was never considered to be an MVP candidate. He's never won a championship. Him and Karl Malone have a losing record in the playoffs. They have more first-round exits than conference finals appearances, and they were on quality units. It's not as if like these are bad teams. Every single year they're winning like 55-plus games, and they get to the playoffs, and they're underwhelming. And I've never, ever, ever heard of a duo that's like top 5. You have 2 top 5 players in their position. I would argue, depending on who you talk to, the best point guard in the late 80s and 90s outside of Magic, and then even when Magic retired, he was the best point guard. And then for the most part, either the best or second best power forward through the late 80s and 90s. And Karl Malone, I've never seen a duo to that magnitude struggle and fail that routinely in the postseason. I've never seen it before.
Damn.
I don't get
Chill.
it.
He just basically said the dude is overrated.
He is.
He's been saying that.
That's crazy.
Lo and I have gone over this thousands of times, and we beat this dead horse. I really don't have any more fight in me left.
Lo's just a hater.
When it comes to Stockton,
it just doesn't. None of it makes sense.
What he just said though, it makes Karl Malone greater than. If you said that they didn't start really doing anything to call the offense of Karl's hands, wouldn't that make Karl greater?
Yes.
Because the sum of the parts around Tim Duncan, he did have Hall of Famers around him. I mean, you had guys like Tony Parker who leveled up. You had guys like Ginobili who leveled up. If you're saying that John Stockton wasn't that dude, wouldn't that make Karl Malone closer to Tim Duncan then? Because Tim did have.
The problem, though, is that Tim Duncan did these things before Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili got there.
But he still had great help, though. Like old boy said, you still had
great help.
Speedy Claxton.
He did not have.
No, I'm saying you still had great role. Hold on, he still had great role players.
He did not have great help. No, he did not.
So hold on. So all the guys he just named wasn't great on that team where when he came in the league.
In contrast to what the other top 10 to 15 players had of all time, no, that's not great help. No.
I'm saying, hold on. So the team he came in the league with, let's get this straight right now.
In 99, who we won a championship with, that is not considered great help in contrast to the rest of the top 10 to 15 players of all time. It's not. No, it's not.
I don't know, man. Low. I mean, you got guys like I'm just saying they had great role players on that team, man.
In contrast to who?
Well, I'm saying Mario Elliott.
Larry Bird, no. In contrast
Mario Elliott had already won a chip with Houston. He was a great role player. He was a great role player. Also, Sean Elliott was a great role player, and he was a very good 3-point shooter too. But he wasn't that year. He wasn't.
But Mario Elliott was not that good in '99. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but I'm saying his championship experience.
His experience helped him out a lot that year, though. I do remember that. Also, you had Jaren Jackson, who was good shooting threes on that team. I thought he was good. Steve Kerr was a good 3-point shooter. He's a great role player to have. Also, you had Antonio Davis.
Steve Kerr shot 23% from 3 that year.
But the threat of him
played 9 minutes a game, and I'm rounding.
Yeah, the threat in those 9 minutes.
Okay,
yes,
exactly.
I mean that whole shooting 23%. That logic is difficult to manifest. The reason why low is because I mean you just talked about Malone shooting 38% against the Lakers. Yo, he had that gets cut because that one game that he had where he went 2 for 20. Other than that, he shot almost 45% for the series.
He played 9 minutes. He played 9 minutes.
Yeah, so that means if he only plays 9 minutes and he takes 3 shots,
he played 9
he's
minutes.
one for 3. I mean, that's 33%.
You
don't get rid.
He played 9 minutes a game.
It's about his threat to score, his threat in those 9 minutes.
If we have to go down to the player who's playing 9 minutes a game, that proves a point that the team was not that good.
No, that shows how stacked the team was. That Steve Kerr only gets 9 minutes.
Because
everyone else ahead of him.
A 33-year-old Steve Kerr.
Yes. That shows how
like I said before, if you compare this type of supporting cast to other all-time great supporting casts, it's without a doubt on the weaker side.
And Lo, let me ask you one last question. Do you think that being a shortened season also hurt the level of competition that they had in the Eastern Conference, being that it was a HD that came out of the East?
100% it does.
Yes,
100% it does.
If you thought that was the case,
Ewing was hurt,
but then he did it again in 2003.
No, but I'm saying 2003, he definitely had better role players. What I'm saying.
Even then, it's a little questionable. It's a little real.
No, but I want you to answer that question.
Do
you think the shortened season also helped him with the championship that year, as far as who they lined up against coming out of the East?
I don't think so. No.
So you don't think that had an effect that year?
No. I think
on the New York. So you think if it was an 82-game season, you think the Knicks still come out the East that year?
I think it made it more difficult for him actually.
Go ahead, Chill. What you think?
A shortened season for a sophomore to get it together. He has less time as a sophomore to be the best player on the championship caliber team. Yeah, I think that makes it more difficult for him.
It sounds to me like it was Tim Duncan and a bunch of okay players, kind of like what was going on with Olajuwon. That's what it sounded like it was to me. So in 2003, when they played against the Nets, that same Nets team that got swept by the Los Angeles Lakers the year before that, and Tim Duncan. I mean, I'd like to think, even though Tony Parker was new, even though Ginobili was new, even though Steven Jackson was new, who else was on that crew? David Robinson was over. We all know that David Robinson
was on his last year of his career. Yeah. Tony Parker.
We all know that David Robinson was there. Yes. Okay. So we all know that David Robinson was over. So in 2003, Tony Parker wasn't a rookie. He was in his. I believe he was in year 2. Yeah, he was in year 2.
Manu was a rookie.
Manu and Steven Jackson were both rookies. But with that being said, though, you also got to take under consideration how long the crew was together. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sorry. Tim Duncan, as high as he was playing at that level. I mean, these guys were also playing at a high level too. I mean, don't get me wrong. That team wasn't great in terms of a talent standpoint. But we also talking about it. We also talking about a team with cohesion and how good they came together, as opposed to we just talking about stacked unit.
Chill. You just sat here and said that majority of the supporting cast were rookies and sophomores who just got there. Manu was a rookie. He just got there. Tony was a sophomore. He just got there. Steven Jackson I think he was a sophomore as well. He just got there. Who else was on the team that was receiving any type of quality minutes that had been there for a long period of time? I think Malik Rose, maybe.
Bruce Bowen was in his second.
And Malik Rose had been in the Malik Rose
had been there. Yeah.
Bruce Bowen had just got there for 2 years, so even he was relatively new.
right? And Bruce Bowen, who was also and Bruce Bowen, who was also a vet at that point. Malik Rose, who had been in the league for 7 years at that point. So it wasn't like he just had a whole bunch of new guys. He did have vets on his team that were great role players that played around him. It wasn't like it was just him and a bunch of okay dudes. I mean, this team that was constructed around him was a lot better than
No, they were okay. They were okay players. They were not. None of these players are all-stars. None of these players are all at this time. At the time we're referring to, none of these players are all-stars. They're not all-NBA. They're not. I don't even think Bruce Bowen made an all-defensive team that year. If he did, he might have been the most accomplished. These are not. If you compare it to any other roster that would go on to win a championship, it is by far one of the worst rosters that you could find. It's not even close. It's not even close.
So can we do the
teammate? But I guess.
So can we do that? Well, he didn't have, like, Jordan had Scottie Pippen in '98, but he only played 44 games. But I mean, Tony Kukoc, as good as Tony Kukoc was, he wasn't Tony Kukoc from 1996. I mean, are we talking about Judd Bushler and Randy Brown and Steve Kerr and who else am I thinking about? I mean, Dennis Rodman was.
If you're counting this Steve Kerr, then you got to count the other Steve Kerr.
And
we go back to the experience. What are we talking about? More experience. He wiser and better.
Definitely counting him. We definitely counting that Steve Kerr, but you're talking about that Houston Rockets team where, I mean, as long as that unit was together, right? They didn't have any all-stars on that team.
The 94 Rockets undeniably is also in the ballpark is like really bad supporting cast, but I'm unequivocally in 99 and in 2003. Undeniably, those are some of the worst supporting cast members that has been surrounded by a star caliber player to go on and win a championship. If they were as good as you're making them out to be, Chill, then they would have been able to make it out the first round in 2000 without Duncan, but they couldn't do it though. So they were not that good. They just weren't.
Well, sorry to tell you. But no, that's not true. That's not true because if I'm good, I could be good enough. I could be good enough to make the playoffs, but then my best player is not here. He's the one who takes us further. That's like saying that the Lakers was good enough to make the playoffs, but without Kobe, they can't get out of the first round. We can't do that, Lo.
That would work if the Phoenix Suns had their best player in its 2000 playoffs, but they didn't either. So the Suns didn't have their best player, and neither did the Spurs, and they still couldn't get past them.
But they were better. And because they were better.
Why were they better?
Because wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm clear. The Phoenix Suns' best player
was Jason Kidd.
The Phoenix Suns' best player is Jason Kidd.
Yes.
The San Antonio Spurs' best player was Tim Duncan. Now, I'd like to think that if you look at wait a minute, was it the first round in 99 or 2000? In 2000, that's right. 2000, yes. Right, in 2000. So with Tim Duncan on that crew, with Tim Duncan off of that crew, I don't even remember who was on that team in 99.
The same good players that y'all just telling me in 99 were on the team. So David Robinson, Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott, Mario Elliott, excuse me. Sean Elliott, Malik Rose, Terry Porter, Antonio Daniels, the same.
Now run down that Phoenix team, Lo.
Penny Hardaway, Rodney Rogers, Cliff Robinson. I think Sean Marion, I think it was a rookie that year.
Was a rookie.
Corey Blunt and Kevin Johnson coming out of retirement.
Kevin Johnson coming out of retirement, but he did play. Right, but he did play.
Kevin Johnson.
Didn't they have Luke Longley on that team?
And Luke Longley, I think it was last season. I think it was last season.
But with that being said, now remember, Lo, you're talking about Kevin Johnson coming out of retirement. I believe Sean Elliott in 90 in 2000. I think he was in year 13. I think Avery Johnson was in like year 14. Something like that. So when you're talking about a team's best player, sure, David Robinson was the difference on that unit, but they were still good enough. Tim Duncan, I believe he ended up playing 72 games that year. So it wasn't like they got to the playoffs without. I think he only missed 10 games. He still got them to the playoffs.
I get that.
He still was the best player on that team. So it wasn't like they were good enough. That moved your point.
But Jason Kidd also did the same thing for the Suns. Jason Kidd played a large portion of the regular season, got them to the playoffs, and then was hurt at the tail end of the regular season. So both teams had their best player for an overwhelming majority of the regular season. They went into the postseason in the first round, and both Kidd and Duncan were not available. So if the supporting cast members are as good as what y'all are making them out to be, in particular David Robinson, You need to explain to me why David Robinson shot
and I'm going to explain that to you
from the field.
I'm going to explain
why
it
did
to you
Sean
right now.
Elliott shoot 37% from the field?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Mario Ellie shoot 27% from the field? Why did Antonio McDaniels shoot 39% from the field? McDyess is Antonio Daniels. You have to
Antonio Daniels. That's right. So number one, it's so number one, Lo, it's way different replacing Tim Duncan than replacing Jason Kidd. That's number one, because Tim Duncan was a huge part of their offense. Now, Jason Kidd was a huge part of their offense in the aspect that he was a ball handler, he was a distributor. That's why they go get Kevin Johnson to supplement some of that. You can't supplement what Tim Duncan was. He's their best rebounder. He's their best interior defender. He's their best scorer in the post. He's their best transition defender. He's all of those things. When you get Kevin Johnson, you're able to supplement some of that. You're able to supplement a distributor. You're able to supplement in a small portion. You're able to supplement a distributor, a playmaker. We don't have anybody to clean up what Tim Duncan was doing. Nobody, which would explain why they faltered in the playoffs the way that they did.
So David Robinson is no one. If David Robinson took a larger role offensively to become a first option, that's not suffice enough for them to get past the first round?
And we all, first of all, you and I have already had this conversation, and we both agree that David Robinson, at that point in his career, he was over. David Robinson was finished. This is the same David Robinson whose production was basically taking a nosedive every year afterwards, after that back injury. He was not nearly the same player that he was. So now we're asking David Robinson in year 14, year 15, with a bad back, to now throw him on our back and take us further in the playoffs when our entire offense and our defense was structured around Tim Duncan.
So that
Phoenix Suns
that proves my point. Then what you're saying, if you're telling me that David Robinson at that time wasn't good enough to at least get past the Phoenix Suns, where his matchup was a 33-year-old Luka Longley, then that proves a point that the roster just wasn't that good around him. Because these are the
keep going low. I'm sorry, keep going low.
No, I'm just saying because these are the same players that you're saying that he won a championship with. Like they're just not a good enough roster. It's just not. Any other player on this roster.
Hold on, Ron. My stance is my stance is the fact that you're replacing Jason Kidd and you're replacing them with Kevin Johnson, who can supplement some of what Jason Kidd was able to do. You're not replacing Tim Duncan with anybody. They didn't go get somebody else to replace David Robinson. To replace Tim Duncan. In fact, you're asking David Robinson to do more. So basically what you're doing is you're asking, I don't know, the backup point guard to do what Jason Kidd was doing. They wouldn't have been able to do that if they had that happen. That would have not happened. My stance is that replacing Jason Kidd is way different than replacing Tim Duncan.
Cooked. All right, fellas. I got a couple super chats that I want to get into right quick. And then
makes no sense.
Obviously, you see the title of the show.
Yo, Ron, you know why? I'm sorry. You know why they upset? Because I beat them in the casual debate. That
was great.
You beat Chill. I beat me.
They're upset at that.
Nobody. Hold on. Nobody is upset. I actually like going back and forth with you. This is great. This is like playing with the best player. I like going back and forth with you.
You're right. I am Jordan. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like going back and forth with a great player. 100%.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Damn,
Chat, send everybody's all-time NBA player comps.
No, you celebrated when I lost. You need
Low Studies Jordan, do you guys agree? I need everybody's all-time player comps, Fluent included and Ox. But I got a super chat from Almighty Lambo right now. He said, why, when we talking about the best scorers, do we not include how much players struggle with scoring when they face real physicality? Seems like we only focus on aesthetics when that matters too.
I mean, we don't. I speak about. I mean, that seems to regard Kevin Durant. I speak about that all the time. I also think it applies to Karl Malone as well. But I bring out. I don't really talk about the aesthetics too much. But other people, yeah, I guess. Shout out to Bull Stop.
Facts.
Another super chat from EJ. He said, involving Ayton offensively would help them defensively. I understand Mitchell Robinson's frustration with the Knicks. Fun fact, Golden State Warriors' last NBA championship, they led the league in PIP in the postseason.
Points in the paint.
Yeah, I say that all the time because their threat to shoot leaves people to try to trap people off screens and then you get layups. And Mitchell Robinson's not involved in the offense because he can't catch the ball consistently.
That's the difference. I don't even know why you brought Mitchell Robinson up because those two guys are not the same. No.
Yeah, if he could catch the ball, he'd be more involved.
Right.
Uncle Shay's Burner sent a super chat and said, Ticket is right about his big man take. When you feed the big, it builds confidence because it shows your teammates believe in you. You do need to play ball to see what it means or what he means. I hate saying that.
You ain't gotta hate agreeing with me because I'm right. That's our problem. Y'all hate me so much. You don't want to agree with me when you know I'm right. It's sad.
I also I agree with Mars on that take as well. It's a level of entitlement that comes along with that. But
here you go, cap a lot.
It is. I mean, I don't know what to.
It's not.
But Mars, wouldn't
it's because you never hooped.
Mars, wouldn't it? And we're not going to get too deep into this. But Mars, wouldn't it? Not. I won't use the word entitlement. But wouldn't it be? It's a level of expectation. I'm the number one overall pick in the draft. If I'm the number one overall pick in the draft, I should be expected to be used in a certain way. Is that not fair?
That's entitlement.
It's entitlement.
You can describe it how you want, but you're describing entitlement.
You're describing entitlement.
You believe because you've done something that you deserve to be treated in a certain way. That's entitlement.
That's literally
normally
you earn the way you're treated.
No, normally when you number one overall pick, you go into a bad team, you get in the ball, Mars.
Right.
That doesn't change the fact that it's entitlement.
That's literally defining entitlement.
You're defining entitlement and saying it's not entitlement.
Lo, here you go with the cap, Lo. That's what it is, Lo. That's what it is in the NBA, bro. When you got a bad team, you're the number one overall pick, you're gonna be the man. That's like saying Wemby goes to the Spurs and he's gonna be a come on, man.
What does he believe that he has like the right to something?
No, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is this, Lo. His first 2 years, his production was increasing. From 16 to 18, his shots were increasing. Then his third year, he goes from getting 14.8 shots down to 10. And they expect his production to go up. Everybody's upset when his production doesn't go up. Get the man the ball more. It wasn't like he was playing any efficient basketball.
I get that. I guess so. You're just saying he like inherently deserves like that privilege.
No. It's not inherently deserved, Lo. There's a reason why you picked me number one overall.
Right.
You picked me number one overall because you think that I can help your team. So if that's why you picked me, then do that. Then I'm not entitled to that. You expect me to do that because that's why you drafted me.
I'm about to say they're using
that's helping me. He has to score 30 points a game.
And I'm not saying that neither, Ron. I'm not saying that I got to average 30 a game or anything like that. What I am saying though is if you picked me number one overall, you didn't pick me to be primarily a rim runner. You didn't pick me primarily to be a defender. You did want me involved in the offense because you worked me out. I came to your facility and I worked out, and you was like, "This is our guy." Yeah, but it wasn't just because you saw me rebound.
That roster is drastically different from where we are now, though. Like it's not even the same roster. So like the expectations are going to change based off what's on my team. Like back then when it was just D Book, sure, maybe I did expect you to be better offensively, but now we got D Book, Bradley Beal, and KD. So like again, if you're going off of those, you're saying that. I mean, again, I get you're just saying like.
Can I read you something?
He inherently.
Can I read you something?
Oh,
can you hear me? Can I read you?
Wow.
Yeah, I just want to read you. I want to read you something.
Okay.
All right.
We had him for a second. See if we can get
no, I still hear him. Keep reading, Fluent.
Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Now we can.
Did you hear the definition?
No, we didn't.
We
didn't hear a single word.
So I'll paraphrase. I'll paraphrase. The definition of entitlement is someone who believes they have a deserving of something, a right or a privilege that they didn't earn. If you earned the number one spot, it's not entitlement anymore. You deserve to be given the ball. You deserve to be because you earned that right.
No, what you
earned. He earned the number one.
He earned it.
What you don't earn is just touches because you were the number one.
But when you say he's the first pick, so he does. When you say he's the first pick, so him to believe that he should be part of the offense, part of the team, and you call it entitlement. No, because that's suggesting that he didn't earn it. Did he not play? Did he not earn that first overall pick?
He earned the number one overall pick, and then the team got Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. He's still not entitled to the shots you get when you were a rookie as the number one pick. Times have changed. he hasn't shown that he was worthy of the 14 shots that you want to give
You
him.
never gave him a chance
So now that times have changed and you have better players, you don't get the same role. So if he thinks he's entitled,
we're talking about
yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, KD and Bradley Beal need to sacrifice shots for DeAndre Ayton.
We're talking
I
about
thought you meant DeAndre. I thought you meant Ayton just kind of in general.
No. That's what I was hold on. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about from when he came in the league. I was talking about from his first year, from shooting the 12 shots he shot his first year, averaging 16 on 58 from the field. Now I talked about his second year of his shots going up to 14.8 and averaging 18.7. Then everybody wondered why he didn't get better his third year. Well, he didn't get better his third year because they went and got Chris Paul and they focused less on his touches. So that's why his production didn't go up scoring and rebounding wise. And when you're a big like that, and when you're getting the ball, when you've seen it increase with your second year, you're looking for a bigger increase in your third year. He never got that the third, fourth, fifth year. Everything has been winged and focused on everybody else. So, but then everybody gets mad at this dude when he's not giving you that production, when they ain't looking at him to give him those attempts and those opportunities that he needs to be able to give you that type of production. So that's my whole point.
I actually think 2021 is the best year.
I was about to say, I think in his third or fourth
year. If you want to look at it from a box score perspective, that's fine. But the best year played to me is 2021 and 2022.
He's been getting majority of the blame for the losses, and he's got to take the toughest defensive assignment.
Not in 2021, no.
In 2022, sure.
He just got blamed for the whole Jokic thing. When KD was playing like hell, when KD was playing like crap, everybody was talking about him and Jokic. When Jokic probably was the best player in the league, and you got to guard him, and then you ain't even getting no shots back. You ain't even got an opportunity to go back.
I don't think anyone on this show blamed Ayton.
I did. No. Everybody was blaming Ayton. I did. Everybody was blaming Ayton. We can't say they wasn't. It was all blaming Ayton.
I did.
I heard more people blaming Ayton than blaming KD.
I didn't expect Ayton to be able to guard Jokic. What I did expect is that when your team's fighting for a rebound, you don't just stand out of bounds and watch. Like, I'm sorry. If I'm asking my big man to try,
I'm gonna leave it like this.
He's not going to try because he's not getting enough touches.
I'm gonna leave it like this. You go to the next one. Guess what? I would too if I was Ayton. Them clowns didn't give me the ball. They hell with him.
Yeah, like
you don't need me like welfare fee.
That's literally the definition of the
tell KD and them go get a rebound. You 6'11". You shooting all the balls. You go get a rebound.
Entitlement. That's entitlement.
Who? What am I? Your water boy? Lost your damn mind. Go ahead, Ron.
All right, so one more super chat from E and J, and then we got something to talk to Fluent about. Something going on up there up north. EJ said, Dub making it look cool to be light skinned and get cooked. You got us looking bad with these outrageous basketball takes, Dub.
I fried it up. He don't even know it. Run around here with a red nose looking like Pinocchio. Get your ass out of here, boy. What's wrong with you?
All right, so Fluent, how you feeling about Canada, man? Steve Javi, you mind throwing up the Team Canada roster? Let's take a look at this, Fluent, and you let us know how you feel about your boys up north. Y'all got Dylan Brooks. You can see SGA, Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett. You got O'Shea Brissett, Lou Dort, Zach Edey, Ori Day, Corey Joseph, Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, Kevin Pangos. How are you feeling about this?
Wiggins not even up there.
Who's not up there?
Wiggins.
Oh, Wiggins. Man. I don't know that he's committed to playing this year.
Oh, okay.
He's too good for the Team Canada. He's an NBA champ.
Hey, Tom,
so is Jamal Murray.
But Jamal Murray's not good enough.
Dylan Brooks is from, I want to say like Kitchener or something like that, Hamilton.
I did not know
he's just a suburb of Toronto.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one.
He's from the burbs. Okay, all right.
I did not know.
Everybody's from the burbs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's from the burbs. No one's actually from Toronto.
I did know that RJ Barrett was Canadian. I mean, I think Steve Nash is his godfather or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash is his godfather. He met his dad, Rowan Barrett, who played for Team Canada.
Mm-hmm.
That's how him and Steve Nash know each other.
Okay.
That's a lot of players. Wow, I didn't know this many players. Like
I didn't either, Lo. I really didn't. This is really surprising to me. I did not know that these many guys was from Canada. I didn't. Where's Lou Dort from?
Canada. Montreal. Lou Dort is from Montreal. Like Chris Boucher. I don't know that Chris Boucher's not on that. Chris Boucher should be on that team.
I think Brandon Clark is also. I think
Brendan Clark as well. Yep. Yeah, so if you're asking how I like Team Canada, it's always the same case. They're really good from a guard standpoint, question marks on defense, and very limited on their bigs. And outside of Team USA, so let's keep Team USA out of it. I think Canada, man for man, might have one of the best rosters heading into this, with the exception of the US. Like, keep the US out, because that's obviously the best team. Who we kidding, right?
Of course.
You got 10 times the population. You're bound to have more players. But if you look at that, especially the starting five, you look at Jamal, SGA, like there's some quality NBA talent right there. Like those guys, Jamal Murray just as a number 2 won the chip. SGA was in, we talking about SGA as one of the top 10, 15 players in the league. We're coming up, baby. We're coming up. And it's all thanks to Vince Carter.
You can legitimately take that team to the Olympics. That's star talent.
Especially if you add Wiggins.
The 4 and 5 is.
Yeah, if Wiggins commits, but I don't think he is. I don't think Wiggins is gonna. He's kind of done his. He's never been one to really want to play for Team Canada that much. I don't know why, but.
Fluent, who would you say you guys' starting five would be? And I want to hear from everybody else on Team Canada.
The 4-5 is pretty weak, actually. It's pretty weak.
Yeah, that's why I said the 4-5 is. It's gonna be. Then to have a lot of though.
Can you predict the starting five or the starting five you will put out there?
Can you pull up the roster again?
Yeah, can I see the list again?
I don't know who's committed, but I would say SGA and Jamal are probably
your
backcourt for sure. Your backcourt, and then you're probably going to start. They're probably going to start like a Dylan Brooks or a Lou Dort at the 3, and then you'll probably have some combination. Kelly Olynyk will probably be the starting 4.
No way,
the 5, man, the 5. Oh, maybe
RJ. Maybe RJ Barrett at the 5. Kelly O at the 5.
Yeah, maybe they go small and they go Kelly O at the 5, and they have like Dort and RJ Barrett as the 2.
Definitely not Dwight Powell. Definitely not Dwight.
No, not Dwight Powell.
What's your beef with Dwight Powell?
Very quickly, Moss. I'm trying to think of somebody that you feel this way about. He is completely and utterly ineffective in the most important parts of what a center is. He does not rebound. He does not take up space. He does not finish around the basket. He does not defend at a high level. All of these things that a 5-man is supposed to do in order for my team to be successful, he does none of them.
Sound like Julius Randle with him.
That's why I'm not gonna lie. That's what I heard. Like, I swear to God, I was just applying it to Julius Randle. Like, okay, I understand.
Hey, and they said New York's not trading Julius Randle unless they getting a superstar in return.
Julius Randle for Dame?
Well, don't worry, because I guess that means he's staying on it because there's nobody going to trade him for.
Well, y'all hate Randle.
Things will change next year when he gets that All NBA nod.
Thanks, Ron.
Another
All-Star selection.
He's about to have more All NBA teams than Ray Allen did in his career. Crazy.
Okay, and Reggie Miller. No, Reggie Miller got 5 of them. I'm sorry.
5 All NBA.
No. He doesn't have
5 All Stars.
No,
Reggie has 2 All NBAs.
He's got 2.
So I guess that means that he's better then. I guess that means he's better.
Yeah, Julius Randle top 75 facts.
Fellas, back to Team Canada though. Chill, Low, Mars, Ticket. How you guys feel about this team as currently constructed?
It's trash.
I'm not loving Lou Dort at the 3 because when you run up on them European teams that they got 6'10" 3 men, no, that's not going to work. I hate that logic. I don't mind SGA and Jamal Murray in the backcourt. I'm feeling that part. I think you got to upgrade at the 3 spot and Kelly O at the 5. I mean, Kelly O can stretch the defense, but I still think y'all definitely soften the front line.
I disagree with him. I think Lou Dort's perfect for that because Lou Dort's going to do all the dirty work. All them other guys is there to score, get buckets, and look pretty. Lou Dort is the one that's going to play lockdown defense. He's the one that's going to get up on the perimeter and guard guys. Yeah, I mean, it's some guys that are big, but
right.
You exaggerated saying 6'10" threes out there. More like 6'6", 6'7" on the wing. You know what I'm saying? And Lou Dort can definitely guard those guys. I like Lou Dort. He fits in well with me with that team. He makes them a better team because of how he plays. Unselfish guy, like I said, perimeter defender, get up in you. And does all the dirty work. I need a guy like that. And Kelly Olynyk, he fits in well. Big man, stretches the floor, can hit the 3 ball. You know what I'm saying? He fits in well with them. I just think they need another guy who can clean up glass. You know what I'm saying? They need a guy who can eat glass and also play good defense in the post. That's it. I like their guard, and their guards are great enough for me. Shea and Murray, I'm taking them.
I'm cool with that back.
I'm taking them. Yeah, I'm taking up. I might take them versus Team USA.
Oh man,
I got that backcourt over any.
Well, it depends on who plays in Team USA.
Backcourt.
Yeah, that's hold on. Hey, Lo, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking them over the Team USA guards that they're gonna put out there right now.
Who they putting out there?
We can look at the Team USA roster too.
Okay.
Steve, you wanna go ahead and
Steve-O, who you got?
Anthony Edwards and Tyrese
Halliburton. Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh hell yeah, I'm taking Murray and SGA.
Yes.
No question.
Yes.
Why is that roster so much smaller?
Yeah, what the heck?
I think these are the only guys that are committed. You got to remember, guys, that in the USA it's way different than in other places. Like everybody commits, with the exception of Andrew. Like Tone just talked about Andrew.
Oh, Jalen Brunson.
It's very much. It's a big deal in other countries to play for your national team. It's a huge deal to do that. Like you got to twist arms here to get these dudes to play. Like we don't even have a national team program as opposed to these other countries.
Is it small for Brandon Ingram to be playing though, as much as he's even hurt?
Yeah, Ticket it is. You know why?
I mean, you said it. If you can play, you should play. If Brandon Ingram can
No,
play,
I'm talking about for the Pelicans. I'm talking about as much as he's been hurt.
I think it is. You know why, Ticket? Because I think that this summer right here could be a summer where he can get his body together, get himself stronger, where he can actually be more durable for a season, as opposed to he's only playing 40 games. He's only playing 35 games because he can't play through knick-knack injuries. Like if he's doing that this summer, now we can get his body stronger, then I think that he can help his team now because he can be on the floor more.
Okay.
I'll show you why he's the best player on the team.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zion should be playing in this, to be honest with you.
Man, it's the only thing Zion playing in is Magic City with Low.
Also the trade value for B.I. can go up.
Zion's alley-oop.
Oh, did you see Zion? Did you see Zion at Magic City? Yeah, Lo. Did you see Zion on that Magic City, Low?
No, I don't see people that.
I'm gonna put. Hey, Lo, I swear to God, I'm pulling up.
Low did not go to Magic City to see other people. He's there for a specific reason.
No, I'm saying he could have went with Zion though.
People see me. I don't see people.
Oh,
make sure I ain't here for none of y'all. I'm here for something else.
Facts.
Hey man,
we know what it is.
Imagine Low in Magic City with a whole rack of ones. Low, you crazy, bro.
Matter of fact, y'all here for the same thing I'm here for. What y'all concerning yourself with me for?
Oh, hey, Low, them wings is fire in Magic City, though, ain't it?
Nah, they're not all that crazy.
On a scale from 1 to 10,
it's a lot of hype.
On a scale from 1 to 10, Low, 10 being the best wings you ever had, and one being the wackest. Where they at?
They're like a 7 or 8. They're not all that crazy.
That's what the hell?
There's a lot of wing spots in Atlanta though. Like that's not the go-to wing spot. Long story short.
Hold on, what's the go-to wing spot, Lo? What is it go-to?
If I'm in Chocolate City, Lo, where am I going to get wings?
Calling it Chocolate City, boy.
Is it Wingstop, Lo? Is it Wingstop?
No, Jesus, no. It depends on what side of town.
Where am I going?
Is it BW3? What is it, Lo?
It depends on what side of town you want. If you're downtown, you go to JR Crickets. If you're on the east side of town, you go to JJ Fish. If you on these are like local spots though, so I don't like I'm naming these places. I mean I know what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, what's the best one in Atlanta though? The best wings you tasted in Atlanta.
We touch down, you gotta take us to the spot, which we're gonna do one day.
Oh, we can go to the strip club for sure.
Yeah, but what's the best wings in Atlanta though? I need to know that.
These spots. There's a bunch of different spots, Lo. These spots.
There's a spot on excuse me, there's this like sports bar on the south side off of Old National, that's really good. And there's another one called the U Bar off Camp Creek. That's another really good spot too.
All right.
See how Low can do that all off the top of his head, but when it's basketball, he needs basketball reference. You can see the experience for this. You can see. You can see Low can do this off the dome.
Low cooking right now.
Lo, your rhyme book ain't open when you're in Magic City. Close your rhyme book, Lo.
Exactly. Low can do this one off the dome, but when it's basketball, he needs the notes.
Oh, there's some people in the chat who know about JJ's. Yeah, JJ's is on point, bro. JJ Fish, yeah, that's on point. That's on point. All right, Ron.
Back to that Team USA roster, though. Back to the Team USA roster. Yep. How are we feeling about the way that this is constructed? Yo, Steve, you can go ahead and throw that on the screen. How are we feeling about this team?
Who's the big, Ron?
Walker Kessler.
For bigs, you got Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler,
no,
and
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, bro. They're not going to report it. I'm not feeling it, bro.
They mean one legit big.
Yeah, I'm not.
Walker Kessler's not a legit big.
That's what I was about to say. What's your problem? What's your problem with Walker Kessler?
Especially in FIBA competition as well.
I would feel more comfortable with a guy like Ayton on that team.
All right, I got it.
I'm dead serious. I would like to see Ayton on that type of team. I think that could really help him out. I'm dead serious.
Just for him not to get the ball again.
How do you guys? Hey, speaking of Team USA, how do you guys feel? Because Ayton's crazy. How do you guys feel about guys like the U.S. team trying to recruit Joel Embiid to become American citizens so he can play for the team?
They did it with Olajuwon. How you think they did it with Olajuwon?
I know they did it with Olajuwon. And I was going to go there next.
I don't have a problem with that.
How do you feel about that?
Well, what is his? Hold on. What is his actual nationality? Because he got the French team coming out there too.
It's Cameroon.
He's African. He's from Cameroon.
Right. So, but why didn't he just play? They don't have a team in Cameroon.
I don't understand why.
I think it's Siakam and Embiid and vibes.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why he didn't play for Cameroon then.
Or along with the team.
No,
maybe he doesn't want to play international basketball.
But does Cameroon do they have a legit team? Because that could have been another reason why he's like, I'm not about to play with just me and somebody else in a bunch of, you know.
So I guess the question is this: if it wasn't the U.S., what if the 5 best players in the U.S. decided they were going to go become citizens of Mexico and play for Team Mexico? Would that be cool?
I guess they run in the league then.
Yeah, no, that happens. That happens. Fluent. It's guys I've seen them. They go overseas. They get
top guys.
They get
the citizenship.
Hey, listen.
Not top guys.
It's been dudes that's went overseas.
Joel Embiid just won the MVP. Joel Embiid just won the MVP. So I'm talking about top guys, top tier guys, not tier 3, top tier.
Oh, so you said like if a top guy from the league was to go overseas, get his citizenship and play?
I mean, if they really want to go through the grind, that's what they should do. Because Team USA is a super team, so they should just go to another.
Exactly.
I just want
the super team. They're ducking the grind.
Exactly.
You got it, Mars.
I just want the USA to do like what Mark Cuban talked about. I want us to have a national program like we had with the Olympic team in 2008 and 2012. Like we can get some consistency and have a national team like these other countries do. That way, instead of just throwing units together, we could have some consistency and have a better team as opposed to where these other teams look like they're catching up when in reality they shouldn't be. The reason why they're catching up is because they have a national program.
I'm a big believer in rotating guys too, though, Chilltown. I do think so many guys are in the USA. I think they should rotate them every couple of years, get new guys in there, fresh blood, just to keep it going. I don't think you should put the burden on the same guys. Overseas, they got the same guys trying to come every year. I don't like that for our guys. Our league is too big, too diverse, and too many players out here.
We're also just way better than them, so it doesn't matter.
Just wait till.
Hey, Ron, I got to bounce, Ron. All right, I will see you. I'll see you dudes on Monday. Mars, I know where to find you. Low down. It's a pleasure. Chitchat, shut your ass up. Tony Tone, I'll get with
you. Keep ducking Sarah Spain, sucker.
Mm.
You make sure you keep ducking her when she come around.
Yo, chill with Chill tomorrow. Y'all be sure to tap in with Chill. But yeah, back to Team USA though. Did you guys heard about Paulo? Because this kind
people
of
are mad at him for not playing for Italy.
Yeah. So Italy actually recruited him, and he obviously has some Italian roots. So he was gonna play on there. He like gave him their commitment. I'm gonna play for you guys. He actually flew out there. He was in Italy, and then all of a sudden just left cold turkey. They didn't hear from him. They didn't know what was going on. He just left. They were like, "What's going on?" And then
ducking the grind.
Next day, he basically commits to the USA team.
Yeah, he didn't want to grind.
That's that pressure, man.
He wanted to join the super team,
bro. Weak mental.
I know one thing. He ain't gonna be able to go back over there.
Nah, not at all.
That just shows that in the NBA, if Orlando don't build a good team, Paulo's going straight to a super team. He's not built like that.
Facts.
There we go, Paulo.
But if he gave him his commitment, he should have played with him. Though he should have played with Italy. He shouldn't have switched up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think part of it was I don't think because he committed like last summer, but I think part of it was I don't think he knew that he was going to be this good, and I don't think he knew he was going to be good enough to
but you
get
still,
on the team.
But Ron, you still don't give him your word.
Don't go back on your
change.
That's just something you don't do as a man.
Yeah, you don't
as
do
a
that.
man,
I'm not co-signing it. I'm not co-signing it. I'm just saying what I think was his train of thought.
Ron,
what's up?
In this world, Ron, you only have 2 things: your balls and your word, and you break them for no one.
You already know.
Facts.
We're preaching right now.
That's all you got.
Facts.
So
on the
why
Team
even give it
USA,
away, man?
on the Team USA Canada, do you guys have any other questions or concerns that you'd like to talk about, or is it any? Actually, I would like to. I would like for you guys to give me your starting lineup. What you guys think would be for Team USA if you had to, put them together. Who you start?
But real quick, the biggest problem with Team Canada is they have 2 scrubs on their team. That's the problem.
Who are those scrubs? Oh, we didn't even talk about RJ Barrett on Team Canada either. But
no one cares about him. I mean, Phil and Thomas scrub, man. 2 scrubs. Like, you can't have that.
Oh, fire.
That's terrible. So that's why they're probably going to lose. But for Team USA, probably start Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, probably. Paolo Banchero can come off the bench for being a home ducking team.
I still
That
think
does
Team
not
Canada
seem like a
wins.
scary lineup.
It does.
Yeah, I think Team Canada wins. I like Murray and SGA better. Just right there. Starting right there.
But Jalen Brunson led the team to the second round of the playoffs with Julius Randle as his teammate.
Well,
And
I just don't think I don't think he's on a better. I don't think he can do nothing with Jamal Murray and those guys.
Jamal Murray without Jokic, regular.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna start looking at Jamal Murray as a star.
Okay, so what do we say if Jamal Murray just plays trash in this?
He won't.
But what if he does, hypothetically?
Well, then
He won't.
Then we realize that he's a Jokic matchup.
We'll say he was tired. We'll say he was tired from a title run.
So you didn't think about that.
Hey, y'all seen how mad Darvin Ham got that dude said he was their daddy's. Darvin said, "I ain't nobody's daddy. This ain't over." Oh yeah, you want to get your ass kicked again, Darvin?
I like that though. I like the fact that he's standing on all 10 toes, man.
Facts
about business,
Lakers and
can I get the rest of y'all starting lineup for
I
Team
gotta
USA?
hold you, man. If I don't run,
it doesn't matter who Team USA start; they're gonna win. That's
LeBron, AD, Curry, Durant. That's what's gonna fill it up.
You're starting KD, even though he misses his layups.
He's not gonna miss against Frenchmen, so I'm not worried about it. Exactly. Aaron Gordon.
Oh, just so that KD can't get locked up.
Yeah, just so we can keep him in our pocket, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, his stock is up so high right now. Low.
It is low key pretty high, like more than what it needs to be. But
Is Aaron Gordon better than Julius Randle?
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't disrespect Julius like that, bro.
Okay. Do the Nuggets win the chip this year if you replace Aaron Gordon with Julius Randle?
No. I don't think they win the chip this year anyway because you lost Bruce Brown.
No, I mean the chip they just won. If you replace Aaron Gordon with Julius Randle.
Yeah, I think so because I think Julius Randle could have taken advantage of some of the things too down there in the post.
What, defensively?
No, I'm talking about
Julius Randle stopping KD.
Yeah, no, but they need the defense though. They need a defense though.
He's not good defensively in your mind?
Not as good as Aaron Gordon. No.
Oh, okay.
He's not good, period.
He's good. He's like straight good. Like he's
in
passable.
The playoffs?
He's passable.
Nah. Good and passable aren't the same thing.
Hey, Ron, I didn't see that. Is Shaedon Sharpe on that list?
Shaedon Sharpe is not on that list.
He was on the list. Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Put it up here.
Because
he's not.
If he's not on that list and he decides to play, like although the starting five might be underwhelming, there's some guys like Shaedon Sharpe and Andrew Wiggins. If they come on, they're gonna also be a deep team too. They can run 10 guys at you.
Hold on, Shaedon Sharpe's Canadian too?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
God, dog, they got some ballers coming out of Canada, man.
They need some bigs though. They need bigs. They need bigs.
I started coaching,
Edey.
and all of a sudden, boom, Zach Edey. They should throw Zach Edey. He'd be good for international play.
Exactly.
Facts.
Soon as they can get some bigs, man, they'll be all right.
All right, fellas, I got some super chats. We're gonna go ahead and run these down. We got open court next, so we're gonna jump into these super chats and get on to that. Almighty Lambo said, I don't know about best wings, but best chicken in the ATL is Mike's Diners. Will change your life. It's true, Lo.
I ain't never heard that before in my life.
If Lo ain't heard of it, then the place doesn't exist.
You Sheboygan today. Boy,
ain't no way there's a food spot in Atlanta that Low hasn't heard of. That's
hey, Mars, you a damn troll, boy.
I'm saying that place doesn't exist.
Where is that at? Even I'm looking up right now, and I don't see it. I don't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. I told you it didn't exist.
I told you. Mars is a
you really think
troll,
it's in Atlanta? Low hasn't heard of it, and it genuinely exists.
Oh, it's in Greensboro. That's not Atlanta. Oh, man.
See, I told you. I know what I'm talking about.
Jersey Love said, I know Canada's hockey team is fire, but the ball team is fire as well.
True.
My football team is trash.
Mox with the super chat said, can we say that Ayton's camp at this position will compromise the Suns more than any other player on the Suns? They lose more if they try to help Ayton.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a matchup where you're giving Ayton the ball to go back at Jokic because you will lose.
You do got to figure out a way to make him work though.
Just trade him.
No, I'm talking about Jokic work defensively. Like,
yeah, you trade Ayton for someone who's good.
Or like a floor spacer.
Like, sure. I don't know if you can get Miles Turner or something.
Y'all crazy as I don't know what, man.
Brandon McCanny said, if Low is Jordan, then Basketball Reference is Scotty.
Facts.
Oh.
Facts.
Okay.
Kilver with the super chat for you, Mars. Said, don't know if y'all talked about this, but thoughts on Cam Whitmore's last game.
I ain't gonna lie, Houston got a couple hoopers, man. It's just sad that they're not gonna get no PT because of Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet, but they got some hoopers.
Fred VanVleet's not gonna be playing as much as you say.
Yeah,
he'll be Fred VanVleet gonna be out there. He's gonna be out there the whole game, man.
The whole game, man.
He'll be the sick man.
The guy that's not gonna play is that boy Amen that you keep. He not gonna play that much.
Amen is
they're gonna slow him. They're gonna bring him real slow.
Ticket said he liked Amen in the first summer league game. Now all of a sudden he's not gonna play.
No, I'm telling you because Ime's going. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying Ime is gonna play the vets. Ime is trying to win, bro. He ain't got time to be raising up.
Amen is gonna help him win.
I disagree, man.
He's gonna play the vets, bro. He's not gonna play no youngins, bro.
Right.
Stop.
Right.
You know that, bro.
You just be happy you playing your boy Jalen Brown.
Over Sengun as well. Is that
Jack Lando might actually play over Sengun.
Hey, Lo, are the Celtics still secretly trying to move Jalen Brown? I think they're trying to move him, bro.
I think they are.
I think they're trying to get off him, dog. They do not want to give him that extension, bro.
It's a little too quiet because not only no extension, but the Dame trade is like very close.
I heard the Dame deal might be going down because the report came out today that teams are going to call Dame's bluff, trade for him. They're saying that Portland is telling the other teams to make the deals. They're not happy with Miami's deal. Make your deal. We'll trade him to you, or we're willing to go into the season with Dame on the roster. They just reported that today on Bleacher Report. So they're saying Miami's deal is trash. Pat Riley and them really don't want to give up all that stuff. He don't want to go give up Caleb Martin and those guys to get him because he knows that bench is going to be gutted.
I agree. They should have got a contract extension already.
Man. So I do think he's going to end up back in Portland, or he's going to end up in Boston, I think. Because Boston has Jaylen Brown.
I think it's more likely he goes to Boston than staying in Portland.
Yep, I'm with you, Lo. And Lo, that boy Shallow, you better have my $500.
Oh, wow.
I told his ass, Ron, did I tell him they weren't going to take that deal that they had over there unless you gave him Bam or one of them? I told him they was not taking that deal from Miami.
He was adamant, Ticket.
He was adamant that they was going to take Tyler Hero and those guys. I told him, y'all dudes out y'all mind.
As a matter of fact, I was talking to him yesterday. He basically was saying the same thing, that it was like, Ron, give me that money from Ticket the minute that happens.
All right, now Ron is talking.
Right.
Ticket, I'm just saying, he wants his money.
I can't wait till the end of the month, man.
He better run that bread. That's all I know.
Wait, Ticket, you gonna be on PC weekend or no?
Nah, I'm not gonna be over there on PC weekend, man. Unfortunately, man.
How come nobody didn't tell me? Wow.
Ticket ducking that smoke, man.
Nobody did not tell me, bro.
Hey, Lo, if I show you my situation right now, I couldn't be ducking the smoke, bro.
Tick is ducking the smoke.
That's the whole reason why. That's the whole reason why I wanted to come. Oh my god!
I'm here taking 9-hour flights and Tick is ducking the smoke.
I'm not ducking. Hey, you know what? You know what? You know what?
This awfully KD to you.
I'm gonna try everything possible, man. I'm gonna try everything possible, man. I promise y'all that. I just got a situation. I already talked to Ron. I got a situation. I got a crazy situation going on right now. So, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm at. If I leave somebody like here for 2 days, all my shit will be gone. So, that's the situation I'm in right now. And I ain't talking about my career. I'm talking about as far as my businesses and stuff like that. Like,
well, hope all the best for you, man.
Oh no, I'm getting money. Ain't no problem.
I didn't get to cook Ticket 1-on-1. It's fine.
Mars, don't you worry about that. The instant I get 1 second to pull up, that's your ass. And Bob, don't say I don't want it with you, Bob. I'm never gonna run from a nigga that look like Monique ever. So make sure you got that right.
Yo, no way. Is Bob in the chat?
Yeah, he in the chat.
He said Ticket don't want it with him.
Face ass.
Bob is 5'4", 245, 50 pounds. Somehow I don't want it with him. Yeah, midget to me.
All right, y'all keeping it pushing. Coach sent the super chat through. Said y'all missing Lowe's point. Tim had way less help than anyone else in the top 10. Not named Hakeem. Tim over Kareem.
That's a lie.
Chill Fluent.
That's a lie.
Kobe won 2 rings.
Tim had Hall of Famers his whole career. Tim had Hall of Famers his whole career. That's a lie.
They weren't playing at Hall of Fame levels though.
No. I don't want to hear that. He was the one dude that constantly had Hall of Famers his entire career. Yeah, he was the one guy.
Fame levels.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, facts. They just made the Hall of Fame out of luck. Crazy.
They weren't always playing at Hall of Fame levels, bro. They got lucky to play next to Tim.
Man, this dude
when Manu Ginobili was carrying Argentina to gold medals in the Olympics, just wasn't.
And Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili would not be in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for Tim Duncan.
Huh?
Manu Ginobili is making the Hall of Fame based on the
Ginobili would not have been in the Hall of Fame, man. Cut it out low, man.
Manu Ginobili was making the Hall of Fame based on the Olympics.
Stop. No, he's not, bro.
Yes, he was.
No, he's not.
Yes, he was.
No. Yes. Is anybody else on that team make the Hall of Fame?
Hey, Ron. Time out, Ron. Hey, y'all, time out, y'all. Did y'all see the video Bob just dropped in the chat? Oh, Ron, if you can play that video he just dropped in the chat. Oh, Bob, you.
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna try to get it on the screen. I'm gonna try to get it on the screen.
Bro, you gotta put that on the screen, bro.
I'm trying to get it on the screen.
Bro, Bob is woo! This nigga.
Yo, I'm gonna try to get it up there.
I'm watching the Ox push Karl.
Come on, man. Hey, yo, Ox. Yo, this nigga pushing a piece of cardboard on the ground. That's how you getting trained for me, man? Oh, man, boy, you headed for a beating, boy. Oh, my God. This boy pushing the cardboard on the ground. Go
ahead.
Yeah, that's a good way to improvise, man. That's
posted it. Hey, put that on the screen, yo. Put that on the screen. Put that on the screen. Oh my God, bro. Bob, you are hilarious. Bob, I ain't messing with you for this, bro. Bro, you crazy. Dog, this dude, bro. Crazy.
I respect the hustle. I'm
gonna read some super chats. Tribe Called Lynn says, speaking of T-Mac, how y'all feel about this generation calling Paul George this generation's T-Mac?
Terrible take.
I understand what they're saying, though. I understand what they're saying. I understand.
Yeah, it's from an aesthetics standpoint.
Yeah, I understand.
I get it. Terrible take that T-Mac is.
No, that's a great comparison.
Yeah,
very talented underachievers.
Paul George made the conference finals though, like 3 times. So
congratulations.
He achieved a lot. He just lost to LeBron.
Congratulations. We're giving up participation pins now. That's your generation.
Yeah, we praise losing all the time. We praise losing all the time on this channel.
Bob, I will have a response. I will have a response to that workout video with one of my own, Bob. Since you want to play this game, all right.
We just got done praising John Stockton and Karl Malone.
We praise Michael Jordan all the time, and he lost in 9 years in his career. Bill Russell lost him too.
And we were praising
the GOAT.
We were
I
praising,
agree, but we praise losing around here. So
we were praising Karl Malone so much that apparently it's close between him and Tim Duncan.
I'm not allowed to talk about Karl Malone because I have a stalker on my IG who tells me I'm giving praise to rapists and that he's going to find me and kill me. So I don't talk about Karl Malone anymore.
All right, we're going to swiftly move on from that. Kane Marco 584.
I got all the crazies.
Joker don't have the comp at center that Malone had at power forward.
Facts.
Okay, so what?
Eight Gates Lee said is Harden top 5 offensive player, averaging 47 and 7 for about 3 months. Got to put you up there.
Nope.
No.
There you have it, 8 Gates Lee.
Mars told me that Stockton was a better scorer than he was.
Huh?
What'd you say, Ron?
Okay.
Sugar wanted to tape. But RJ said, why does Kobe get so much hate for winning with Shaq, but Magic gets praised for winning with Kareem?
People hate Kobe. There you go. Let's move on. We know the answer.
Kareem didn't have an MVP after getting with he was old after getting with Magic.
His first year he got MVP.
First year he was MVP, but player voting stopped.
After that.
Okay.
After that.
Yeah, but Kareem still gets praised for the 5 rings he won with Magic, which is weird considering he was the second.
Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't even be in the top 10. Facts.
The first
he shouldn't be above Bill Russell.
Bill Russell's the GOAT.
The first year he won MVP. It really should have went to Magic. Magic was more impactful, but it is what it is.
Yeah, players were voting.
Yeah, and they don't know better, so yeah.
Yeah, casuals.
Divine said,
players are, you've seen those player takes. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Divine says, who do you think will be the best player from the 2021 draft class? I got Cade. I think he'll have a big year under Monty and more shooters.
Yeah, well, everyone knows my answer. So
who Mobley?
Michael Jordan.
Scotty Barnes.
Okay, so everyone's
definitely not Jalen Green.
Okay.
It's definitely not Jalen Green with that roster around him.
Ron, we need to end the show because people are just trolling.
What team do you think Jalen Green's gonna be traded to?
And that's Fluent. I'm waiting for us to get to that moment because they're tanking so much that they got so much talent that eventually, Mars left. Wow. Look at the crybaby, man.
Oh, he left?
He can't handle Rocket.
He can't handle it, man. He can't
Rocket reality. He can't handle Rocket reality.
Wow. Can't handle it, bro. It sucks for Mars, man.
Poor fella. EJ with the super chat said, everyone has a point, but Chill and Ticket have a point that explains why the Suns will not go far in the playoffs.
I'll tell you.
Raw with the super chat said, some points to add to the convo. AD effective field goal percentage from the post is lower than Ayton's, and Ayton's post possessions drop dramatically in the postseason.
Yeah, AD draws more fouls, but nice work trying to do that one. And also, Ayton gets less post touches in the postseason because he doesn't justify them in the regular season. So why would you go to him in the postseason when there's less possessions and you have to use those possessions more wisely by giving the ball to your best players in the best positions? But thank you for that one.
Now, I will say this, though. When they played what is it called? The Clippers, and they went small ball, and they still didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
And that's why Ty Lue keeps getting away with these small ball tactics when that's the only adjustment he ever makes. Because don't end up just posting up when you have Nicholas Batum at the 5.
That was pretty nasty. I was like, come on.
Some team has to exploit Ty Lue's only adjustment that he ever makes.
Trust me, the Nuggets would have. So,
yeah, it's ridiculous that he keeps trying to do that and he keeps getting away with it.
So Quay White said either to Ayton's conversation, 80% of his field goals are assisted on, so he's not playing back to the basket and using his skill to cook.
Oh, it's okay, White. Thank you. I said that. Good work. High five.
EJ then said Chilltown and Ticket are cooking.
Facts.
Too bad I missed that. That sounded like a good conversation.
Yeah, we was cooking Mars yesterday. They ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You weren't cooking me, but it's fine. You're ducking the smoke on PC weekend. That's cool.
Mars my boy, but he took that L today.
Eight Gates Lee said going to the finals for the Suns is what messed up Ayton because now they know they had a chance to win, so they go get KD and Bill.
Facts.
I think
upgrading your team is just a problem. Like facts.
Yeah, no.
EJ said anyone saying Dub is cooking is under 30. Ticket was on fire. Inside out game is proven even now to win playoff games. It starts down in the playoffs.
Slows down. But the Suns play inside out without Ayton post ups.
No, they don't. They just play mid range out.
Yeah, that's relatively inside. Like you just got to get below the free throw line, and that's layups. So inside out.
EJ said the Suns shouldn't treat Ayton like Charles Oakley. He needs to get involved for them to open the floor for their shooters and defensive production.
You guys don't know how bad of a decision DeAndre Ayton is with his back to the basket, and it tells.
It sounded like you guys had a long conversation about this, so I'm not going to say nothing. Keep going.
Yeah.
Very long. Very long. We spent an hour and a half talking about
it.
It
was way too long, and it got overwhelming after a while how long it was.
Pause.
Okay. I'll leave it. Go ahead.
Pause.
Drip Bayless said, do you think MJ could win multiple scoring titles and chips in this era? Only Steph has been able to translate scoring into winning since 96.
What?
Kevin Durant? LeBron James?
Kobe?
Giannis?
Shaq?
Like, we're talking about what? What kind of super chat was that? Wait, what?
Whoever sent that super chat, hey, low.
That super chat made no sense.
Whoever sent that super chat, Lowe's gonna send you a link to Basketball Reference.
Yes, yo, you got because Jesus, what are you talking about? Since '96,
the 2 years Steph won the scoring title, he blew a 3-1 lead in the finals and missed the playoffs. So I thought he was going with that, but I don't know.
He said since '96 and '97, '98, Jordan won and he led the league in scoring, so he can't even say that either. I just say this doesn't make any
Shaq in 2000.
Yeah, Shaq led the league in scoring. I know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. I have no idea.
Elijah Pofis said, someone said Kwame Brown is not a bust, just didn't have the opportunity. How true is that?
I mean, based on the logic I'm hearing for DeAndre Ayton, it has to be true. Should have just given him more touches.
Very false.
Just give him more touches.
Who trying to make that argument again?
It was that I forgot his name.
I forgot who it was too. Yeah.
But,
it was Trey. It was Trey. I remember now.
I think I voted him out for that too.
Oh wow.
Kwame Brown. Listen, Kwame Brown is just a expectations versus reality. Because he was the first overall pick, he had very high expectations. He did not live up to those expectations of a first overall pick. So you want to call that a bust? Then he's a bust. But if he would have got drafted where he should have been drafted, like, I don't know, 38, he would have been just fine. A good guy who played a number of years in the league and was good.
38 is crazy.
Yo, Shaq, bro, you better watch out. Mars is he's going outside, bro. Mars is starting to be, he's starting to be more encompassed into my world, man. I'm taking him under my wing.
Alexander Lafort said, congratulations on 100K. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Keep grinding, my guys.
Facts, man.
What if I don't feel like grinding anymore? I don't want to.
Just remember, Lo, Mars still needs like 3 years before you can go to those places you want to take.
Facts. Long way to go.
3 years? You're not that old.
Unless I get a fake ID. They'll never know.
BD Production said D-Book, KD, Eric Gordon, Bradley Beal all don't play defense. Also, is KD going to give D-Book the mantle as the most important player?
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal all play defense. That's not true.
They don't play defense at a high enough level. You know what he's talking about, Mars.
No, he said they don't play defense.
I get that, but stop being nasty.
They play defense.
Stop being nasty.
They play defense.
And they play defense when Nick Claxton's on the floor, but come on, by themselves, come on, no.
Yeah, Devin Booker's never played with Nick Claxton.
But you know what I'm talking about. He played defense with Mikal Bridges and Chris Paul, bro. They need real leaders out there. And let me stop saying this because then he might be listening and he's gonna be like, I'm hating on him. So let me stop.
Styles Black said ticket lying. Jordan, Blake, West, didn't have their best years with CP3, question mark. DA was having his best during the finals run with CP3, spoon-feeding him dunks and layups.
Oh, yeah, I agree with this too. Deandre Ayton was his best version in 2021. I agree. I watched the game with my eyes.
Really, it has a lot to do with defensively. That's one of his best rim protecting seasons. If not his best.
Agree.
Yeah.
Winter said, I agree with Tiki because when the Suns lose, they blame Ayton, saying he did not give more production on offense.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
He might be part of the reason, but the biggest reason was KD. Let me not say that again. Let me not say it again. Let me stop. Don't want to be called a hater, man. Also, the lack of rim pressure.
EJ said, we just went this Mars Final Forum, y'all.
Okay. I don't know what Final Forum was.
Keeping it pushing. We got
what time does full court start?
I don't know.
Let's see. It's coming on right after this.
It was meant to start half an hour ago. Ron's just delaying my nighttime plans. Oh, Ron.
You don't have any plans.
You don't leave the house.
The world would never know.
I don't even think you leave that room. I think Mom brings you some supper right through that door there behind you.
That's facts. Like when I turn my camera off and then I come back and I'm eating, my darling mother just brings my food up and I start eating.
Bro, you have the best life. You all think that was
shout out to Mama Moss.
That's the best life.
Mom and supper is crazy.
Yeah, supper's crazy, but
last super chat of the day from Big Dubs said, question for Ticket and Ron. Are you guys going to watch the Crawford versus Spence fight? And who y'all got? Ticket?
Well, Ticket thinks about who he's taking. Go to sportsfluent.com, go bet US, and make a bet on that fight. And you get a special bonus from Fluent if you click through that link on the sportsfluent.com site.
Yo, to answer your question, Big Dubs, I got Bud. And that's that. Yo, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to be here at the same time tomorrow. Y'all know where to find us.
On a Saturday?
Yeah. Tomorrow on Saturday. We'll be here.
Okay.
We're going to be here Saturday?
Remember, we're supposed to do this, right? We are supposed to do this.
No, that's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Is it next Saturday?
The 22nd.
Yeah, next Saturday.
100K, yeah.
Ron's just chatting right now.
Next Saturday, the special 100K episode. We'll be there. Monday, we'll be back at the same time. Tomorrow, Chill with Chill. Y'all be sure to tune in tomorrow. Tap into that. And also Player's Choice Anime. If you haven't got around to watching that, pull up to that in the afternoon. Until then, we'll catch y'all. Be smooth.